The Sim Racers for Mental Health are a group of iRacers who meet monthly to put on special events, typically at some of the most recognizable superspeedways in the NASCAR circuit. This month, they will take the fenders off and head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for a simulated 500 miles at the Yard of Bricks. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeff McConey, and with me in the booth is Nick Schmeg. Behind the scenes is our director, Sean Ambrose, and he's using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. What makes Indianapolis so unique and special? Is it the high speeds, the short shoots between the turns, or the 200-plus mile-per-hour game of chess that every driver is playing? Is it the combination of the three? Nobody really knows for sure, but what we do know is that this place leads to some amazing, hectic, and unpredictable racing. This track is known for being one of a kind, to put it lightly. Any one of these drivers out here can win it, whether they're starting on the pole or dead last. If you've got a car that can keep up with the draft, you've got yourself a car that can win this race. However, to finish first, you must first finish, which means not making any mistakes over the course of this 500-mile event. Who is going to hang on during this race and make it to the end? That all is to be seen as we get ready for a fantastic race at the legendary Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the lap guide here, courtesy of GSRC.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see another track guide here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Yazek. This is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a track that needs no introduction, and this is the IndyCar, the IR18. Without further ado, here we go, across the Yard of Bricks, down off into turn one. You're really going to want to plant that left side tire, probably right underneath that line. Careful not to hit the rumble strips, let it float out. Back down here again, underneath that line. Don't hit the rumble strips. Don't let it float out to the wall. Keep a little bit of a gap there. That way the air doesn't get trapped and actually could slow you down just a little bit. But especially at a lap at this speed, every little bit counts. Down here into turn three once again. Across the short chute, down into turn four. Steady hands make the most speed here at Indianapolis, out towards the fence. Now, there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run as the race progresses. Your main passing opportunities are the front and the back stretch. Down here into turn one again, you see you can maybe go a little bit higher than that, but I wouldn't go too much further. The car will kind of wash out. These cars produce such a huge aero wake. You're going to see guys defending runs all the way down this backstretch, all the way down here to the line, trying to weave, break the draft a little bit, moving all around, but it all funnels back into turn three, where you have to get back down, put that tire underneath the white line, hook it just a little bit out towards the wall. Down, here we go, into turn four. And then one of the prettiest sights in all of racing, coming down here, the funnel of fans. You get a lot of tunnel vision, but here we go, across the line. And that is going to complete our track guide here around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
I know I'm excited for this race, as this is my hometown track just an hour from Purdue University, and it's great to virtually be back home again in Indiana. But before we get started, what are you most looking forward to, Nick?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Certainly always exciting when you have a 500 mile or a 200 lapper here at the Brickyard, especially in that Indy car. So much history packed into this race, and as you can see, this track is not like a super speedway like we see in NASCAR. It's not like Daytona or Talladega. It's flat, it's rectangular, it's got just daunting turns that you can see there at the corner. You're flying in there at about 230 miles an hour. The real-world drivers definitely have to flex their bravery. These sim drivers as well are going to have to be brave on the grip there. 2.5 miles around here, 9 degrees is all they've got banked in that turn to help them steer that car in. It just makes it all the more difficult to get a pass done, to keep momentum up. It just adds to the consistency that is needed here from a driver, because one tiny mistake, one tiny bobble in a turn has ended so many bids for people trying to win this big race.
You're absolutely right. Another key element is the pit road entry. It's very hard to go from about 200 miles an hour to about, 55 miles an hour. It's a very, very difficult task. Actually, it's 60 miles an hour. My bad. We saw some great racing in the Freedom 100-esque race yesterday. That was the F3 cars, but I mean, we saw three, four wide even, and they made it work. Do you think we're going to see a lot more of that today?
Don't know if we're going to see four wide. We're going to see speeds of about 60 miles an hour faster than that. Well, maybe we've got bigger cars as well out there on track. These Dallara IR18s, they take up a lot of track, and especially the turn in. They're going to, if they are single file, they're going to use up the entire track to get those turns done. Just kind of diamond the turns in and out of the corners. You can take these big wide corners, kind of like a double apex through 1 and 2, and then through 3 and 4. We might see a little bit of 3 and 4 wide on the straightaway, but they're certainly going to have to get it sorted out amongst themselves if they want to keep their cars in one piece.
And that's the key, is keeping your car in one piece. One tiny mistake here can really ruin your day or end it completely. But let's take a look at the details for the track here, Nick.
Yeah, so they are going to be out there with the fixed setup. This is the key. You said you got to keep them in one piece, but they've got one fast repair. So you ruin the car, you get a little bit of suspension damage, a little bit of wing damage that you can't fix in a quick pit stop. You're going to be able to get to the paddock in a blink of an eye, and be able to pull out a spare car with the same setup. Now, you might have to tow, and last night we saw in the Freedom 100 that really cost a lot of these drivers, because the tow time, you'll take about 2 or 3 minutes to get back to the pits. But once you do have that fast repair, you're all set to go. And with 200 laps here to get some laps back, I think we're definitely going to see that come into play.
Absolutely. Right now, practice is wrapping up at the Yard of Bricks. We're looking to get over into qualifying. These drivers are going to have 5 minutes and 4 laps around to put down their time in qualifying. It's all about speed here, though. You have to carry as much of it as possible. We're going to talk a lot about momentum over the course of the day today. But let's take a look at these guys get out here ready to qualify. No draft, no help from anybody else or anything. Just one car, one driver going as fast as they possibly can for 4 laps here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, and unlike the little bit of change, they do get 4 laps, but this is not going to be like the qualifying we see at the real world Indy 500. It's not going to be the average speed of 4 laps. This is just going to be the speed at the time from your best lap. So you are going to be allowed to make a couple little mistakes here. Of course, you don't want to ruin the car completely, but you see as these cars get up to speed, 4 laps to get the job done. That fuel is going to burn off. Those tires are going to wear out quickly.
Certainly are. We saw that yesterday, though. We're staying out on older tires as well. This is just jogging my memory. Staying out on old tires, you can really make that work. But when you're just putting down 4 consecutive laps all by your lonesome out there, the key is carrying enough speed. You have to be perfect here. It's very, very close with the fixed setup. And really, the speeds you're traveling at 227 miles an hour through turn one for some of these drivers. You're just going so quickly. One tiny bobble losing 1 or 2 miles an hour doesn't sound like much at over 220, but it can really throw your entire lap off.
Yeah, we saw in practice the times. Silvio Roberto Sanchez had the fastest time in the 40-minute warm-up, but it was only by 1/100th faster than Juan Carlos Marciano in the 0-2 machine. Like you said, it's just that one tiny little mistake. These cars are going to be inches, millimeters apart at times, and they're going to be fractions of a mile an hour apart as well. Looks like our first qualifying times are getting set up on the board. Andrew Wisdom has a 39 flat, and he's going to be on top for now.
39.001 for Andrew Wisdom. Presley Sora, we saw him fast all day yesterday doing some bump drafting in a Formula 3 car, if you can believe that. I don't think we're going to see too much of that here today. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong many more times in my life, I'm sure. But I don't think we're going to see too much bump drafting. Presley Sora now back in third with a 39.015. Up at the top, once again, is Andrew Wisdom. A 38.903 took it back from Steven Sims. Right now, Andrew Wisdom, though, on his third of 4 laps. He's leading the way at the moment, but that is subject to change as Ochmansky in second now with the 38.923.
Those times are so close. Oh, and Presley Sora just bumped him off the top of the board as well. A 38.893. We're up to about 20 drivers who have set a qualifying time here. Looks like we've got close to 30 drivers out there on track. Looks like 27 have taken the field today.
27 drivers, but only one of them can come home the winner. This race is just as much about timing as it is about speed, though. You have to be quick, but you have to time those moves properly to get around somebody else, your runs to the inside or outside. It's very, very difficult to do here. So, timing is everything. And over the course of 200 laps, you can't afford to make a mistake.
And don't forget that they are not just fighting for a win and pride like we saw last night in the Indy Lights 100. They're also fighting for a little bit of cash that will be paid out to the winner. Nice little payday to help them pay for their continuation of using iRacing here. But like we saw just now on the left side of your screen, Silvio Sanchez. Keep an eye on that 47 car. He was fast in the warm-up, and he's fast here once again in qualifying.
Sanchez, a 38.715. Right now, he's a tenth quicker than Presley Sora. Over a tenth, about a tenth and a half quicker than Presley Sora. He's so confident. He's pulled that car off to the bottom right now. I don't think he's going to take that fourth lap. He knows he's got this pole locked down, or at least he thinks he does. Just under a minute left now in qualifying. Presley Sora also pulls off to the side. He's finished his 4 laps. 38.860 is the best he's going to have, with Andrew Wisdom sitting in third, only 0.02 of a second off Presley Sora.
Some of these drivers last night, like Presley Sora, some of these drivers there's Covey Moore, who won last night's event with the help of his teammate Presley Sora. They said they wanted to come back today and get the job done. They're certainly looking quick here early, but Covey Moore, he's finding himself back in 17th right now.
Nick DeGroot, who finished third last night, isn't in a much better spot. 15th right now with 39.051. Brubaker as well, up to 14th. He finished fourth last night. So those drivers, I expected, I guess, them to do a little bit better here, but qualifying is one thing. The race is something entirely different. Keep an eye on them. They were working really well and driving very well. But now qualifying is over. Starting in first is Silvio Roberto Sanchez with a 38.715. In second, Adrian Pazos, a 38.821. Starting in third, Aaron Roofs. In fourth, Presley Sora. Andrew Wisdom will start in fifth, with Bill Kruska starting sixth. Jacob Ochmansky starts seventh. Latham Joyner starts eighth. Steven Sims in ninth. And Adam Coles will round out your top 10.
Kevin Kittleman and Rod Fossenaw are going to be right behind in row number 6. Tyler Scott and Yari Brubaker, who was very quick last night. He's going to be starting in 14th. Right in front of another fast driver from last night, led a good portion of the first half. Nick DeGroot, he's going to be rolling off in P15 alongside Steve Rada in the number 3 machine. Last night's winner, Covey Moore, he was looking for a complete sweep of this virtual month of May for the Sim Racers for Mental Health. He's going to be rolling off alongside Howard Windell in row number 9. Row number 10 going to be rounded out by Antonio Grappilia and Philippe Kursbeck.
Starting in 21st is Michael Broomhead. 22nd, Scott Rickard. James Walters will start in 23rd. Andrew Bedrosian starts 24th. Victor Santos, 25th. Brandon Jackson, 26th. Juan Carlos Marciano rounds out our field and starts in 27th. 27 cars will take the grid here today. I'm not sure how many of them are going to finish. It's a brutal, brutal race here, 500 miles at Indianapolis. But that is to be seen. We are getting ready to go green and get these cars rolling.
I noticed we had a lot of fast drivers back there, like Juan Carlos Marciano. He was second place in the warm-up, just 100th of a second off that top spot. Other drivers like Andrew Bedrosian, who had the slowest qualifying time. Covey Moore back in 17th, Nick DeGroot in 15th. Man, lots of drivers that are going to have to make their way up through the field. Passing last night at the Indy Lights race, you could go from 20th up to first within a lap. You could go from first back to 20th within a lap. In the Indy 500, yeah, you can still go from first to 20th in a lap, but you're not going to be able to gain that many spots as quickly. They're really going to have to fight for it, and this is a race that needs to be planned out. It needs to be filled with strategy, fuel mileage, tire conservation. These drivers are going to be burning through their calculators, as Larry Mack would say. They've got a lot of thinking to do, and they've got a long time to do it.
We'll have to see how many calculators are smoking at the end of this event. Any one of these drivers can win it. You keep your car in good shape, and you have got yourself a chance to win it. Pit stop strategy is a huge key to this race as well. We might see some green flag pit stops. This is going to be a fantastic race, and I'm excited for it.
One pace lap here for them. They're starting double file, not like the triple file, unfortunately, like we see in the real world. Although we would love if iRacing added that. I don't know if the drivers would love it as much, but they will be making restarts with single files. So this is going to be the only time we're going to see them bunched up like this.
Well, I don't know about that. We might see some two wide racing like we saw last night, but who knows? I think we might see a single car train for him as well. What a great view, though, of all these cars from way up above. That's where I'm taking a look down from right now. Everyone's all lined up, warming up the tires, getting ready, getting excited to start off this race. 500 miles. You're just hoping you can make it to the end. Man, it's going to be something to keep your eye on, though, is how will these drivers maintain their composure over the course of 200 laps here? It's tiring, it's exhausting. And with these drivers out here, you have to keep your focus because one lapse in judgment can really cost you your race and everyone else's. Silvio Sanchez will lead the field to green here. He's waiting to get onto the gas pedal, and he hits it hard. Right now, going and getting a great jump over second place is Silvio Sanchez. He's got a great lead, about 10, 15 car lengths. A bit of a checkup further back, some apologies already being made. But Silvio now looking only out in front of his car. He's on cruise control. He's got a great lead, but you don't want to get out too far ahead here because we're going to see a great run from the 86 and Presley Sora, who's worked his way up to third. Presley looks low, gets blocked. Now he jumps back up high. They're side by side for the lead. Silvio hung out to dry like the laundry, goes up in turn 3, slides his way back into third place, put Adrian Pazos to the lead with Presley Sora looking to make a move now. They're still side by side and fighting.
A drag race down the front straightaway. The lap number 1 is going to be led just by a nose by Adrian Pazos. But look at that turn 1 run that Presley Sora is going to get from 4th place up to 1st. He's going to be looking for that lead in a second.
Caution is out. There's a wreck further back. We'll try and locate that. I believe it was pretty far back in the field, but it involved at least 4 or 5 cars. The 22 was involved. That's Andrew Bedrosian. Started in 24th. So let's take a look back at the replay, though, and find out what happened.
Actually, I think Andrew Bedrosian got through. I think this was Juan Carlos Marciano in the 02 car. Rod Fastenaw is going to be up in the number 10 machine. I see him upside down, actually. This looks like contact between Tyler Scott, actually, of all people. Very fast last night. Oh, and look at that check up there. It's going to spin him, get everyone out of control. More cars are going to pile through.
Let's take an onboard view. We're going to see the checkup come right in front, and there's just not enough time to react at 220 miles an hour. So there was a wreck ahead, and then never really got on the brakes, Juan Carlos did, and he ended up getting into that wreck. Man, car upside down on the wall. I think everyone's going to walk away from it, but a lot of damaged cars, bent sheet metal, and I think some people are going to use their fast repairs already.
Yeah, that deep blue car in front of Marciano was Steve Rada. He couldn't get slowed down in time. It looks like he just lost it, maybe underneath the 55 of Kursabek as well. So a lot of drivers just trying to avoid the chaos and actually added to the chaos more than it probably needed to be that early on. But like you said, fast repairs, they are going to get spent right now early for a lot of drivers. That is going to be killer because for the rest of these 200 laps, you can't focus on getting up there to win. You just got to focus on keeping your car clean. That is a nightmare for these drivers to have.
Absolutely. You're losing that crutch, that safety net you had below you. Now, unfortunately, for some of these drivers, you're just out there, just like in real life. You get one car, and it's your job to go out and win the race with it. Presley Sora has worked his way up from 4th all the way to 1st, though, in just a couple laps here. Pretty much 1 lap and a half, give or take. He made it from 4th all the way to 1st. He knows how to draft in these cars and slingshot around other people. That's something to keep your eye on here. Let's see if he's able to hold this lead, though. We saw how far back Silvio dropped when he got absolutely freight trained by drivers that drafted up behind him because he got too far out in front.
And we asked a couple of the drivers last night what they were able to learn and translate from the Indy Lights into the big time show here today. And a lot of them said stuff like track position. Presley Sora saw last night that drivers like Nick DeGroot had the track position early. He lost it. He wasn't able to regain it, and he ended up not winning after leading a good portion of the race. Covey Moore, who didn't even take a pit stop after lap number 3 yesterday, he decided, even though, hey, he had slower tire or worse tires, and maybe not didn't have the car to get the win, it didn't matter. He had the track position to get the job done. Presley Sora definitely taking notes from last night. He would love to get his team into victory lane.
Absolutely would. That's the goal, is to get the team to victory lane. And if we see two teammates up here battling, I think we're going to see them primarily focus on getting the team the win before getting themselves the win. So if somebody needs to push their teammate up to the front here, I think we're going to end up seeing that here. Everybody wants to win the race for themselves, but they also want their team to win, to say they were on the team that won it. Even more so, though, you don't want to take the win away from your teammate and not get it yourself. If you do something there to hurt your teammate's ability to win the race, man, that's going to be a very long conversation after the race. And the guy that was leading is probably going to sit there saying, what's the point of being teammates if you're just going to take away the wins and try to get it for yourself, but completely take me out in the process?
Yeah, certainly going to be a talking point to keep our eye on later as this thing progresses. Just an update from that wreck. I believe Rod Fastenal was the only driver that actually had to take a tow. Kevin Kittleman, another driver who is being scored a lap down right now. But other than that, everyone's still out on the track. No one retired after that wreck.
That's great to see that nobody has retired from this race yet. It's still early. You can rebound from a wreck early on. I think we're going to end up seeing a lot of green flag racing here. My fingers are crossed, toes, arms, legs, everything. Possibly crossed, my eyes. Everything is crossed to see some green flag racing here, because all these drivers, when they are sitting there pacing under caution, it's agonizing. You want to go out there, you're there to go fast. And when you're sitting there pacing and worrying, you're thinking about all the different things you need to do, thinking about things you wish you could have done differently. It's very easy to get into your own head. And keep in mind, these guys aren't, machines out there with mechanical precision and they hit the same marks every single time. They are humans. They get frustrated. They get tired. That we're going to see that come into play later in the event. They get emotional and they might say, well, if he's going to keep cutting me off, I'm not going to work with him. I'm not going to draft off of him. I'm not going to do this, do that. And we could see these guys start to get frustrated with each other. They can make mistakes too, so keep an eye on this. If they start getting into their own heads with a lot of caution laps and they're just sitting there pacing and pacing and pacing, thinking about all the things they need to do or should have done, it's going to be very, very difficult to break yourself out of that funk and get focused again.
I'm sure one driver who would like to get back to racing is Presley Sora. You can see just how much he does want to get back racing. Look how close he is back to the pace car. He's got a big gap way back to Adrian Pazos in second place, who started there at second, got shifted up and down the order a little bit. He winds up where he started. Same with Aaron Roofs right behind him. I haven't talked about that number 26 car, but certainly shows a great deal of pace if he's able to start up on the podium.
Absolutely right. Started in third, stayed in third. Adrian Pazos started in second, still in second. The only real motion there in the top five was Presley Sora jumping to first and Silvio Sanchez taking his spot back and forth. Another mover here, though, Brubaker started in 14th all the way up to 10th. A big mover. Covey Moore, 17th he started all the way up to 11th, gaining 6 positions there in just about a lap and a half. Something to keep your eye on. He may not have been fast in qualifying, but he knows how to get up behind somebody, draft off of them, and gain some positions. James Walters as well, 23rd to 15th, 25th to 16th. Victor Santos. We've seen some motion through the field here, some guys working their way up. Keep an eye on them, because just because you're in the top 3 doesn't mean you're going to stay there. People can really get a good run going from the back.
A little bit of a trend with our hard chargers as well. Yari Brubaker and Covey Moore, 2 drivers that were very, very fast last night in the Indy Lights. They've got a little extra seat time, and that's certainly paying off. But it looks like, Jeff, our pace lights are out. They're going to have about a 1.25 mile back to the green flag. Now, this is a single file restart. When that green flag waves, you can pass on the outside before the start finish line. Can't get down to the inside. That's why you'll see a lot of these drivers go right up next to the wall and kind of fit in snugly there in line. And hopefully for Presley Sora, he's able to get away from the field and break that draft. But I don't know. I think we're going to see a big train of cars weave and snake down the backstretch.
Absolutely right. And we had some consultation yesterday from a former Indy Lights driver. He's turned gosh, by his own claim, about 10,000 laps in Indianapolis, drives the Indy cars there, just doing testing and stuff. And we asked him for some of his advice on how to get around this track, how to take advantage of certain opportunities. The one thing he said that really caught our attention that we discussed last night was the best opportunity to make passes is the entrance to one, the entrance to turn three, and on restarts. So right now, Presley Sora needs to focus and not give up any position here on the start. Let's see what he does. He gets right on the gas, goes about halfway to the pit road wall, break up that draft, gets all the way down. Now back up to the outside wall, take away anybody's chance to get up and draft up to you, take away their chance to pass you going into turn one. Now I think we're going to see him hold the bottom here, protect the inside line going into turn three, and hold on to this lead. That's what's worked yesterday, and I think that's what's going to work today, but a big run coming. He's weaving down the backstretch, like you said, Nick, and trying to break up that draft. Don't give anyone the advantage of towing up behind you.
Yeah, it was a lightning start, but it's not going to pay off that much because there's Adrian Pazos. He's got that slipstream. It took him a lap to get there, I'll give him, but he is there nonetheless. He's going to try to look around here, maybe to the outside on the front straightaway. Yes, Presley Sora is going to go defensive. He is going to lead lap one, but look at this slingshot from behind. That's Aaron Roofs, making it 3 wide down to the bottom.
Oh my goodness, 3 wide for the lead on lap 8. These drivers are here to run. But that side-by-side battle gave Presley Sora the advantage. Now he's back out in front again by about 10 car lengths, but that lead will quickly diminish. That tow is so strong here at Indianapolis that you just get sucked right up to the car in front of you if you're in second place. Now Presley Sora defensive. He goes down back to the bottom. He knows he just needs to defend that inside line. The disadvantage of being behind someone, when you're in the turns here, the car is so unbelievably tight. It won't turn. You have very bad understeer, but that is not going to prevent Adrian Pazos from getting to the inside. They're side by side for the lead. Wow, 0.004 of a second Adrian Pazos led that lap. Presley Sora now slips into second, and who is this joining the battle up here in third place? That's Latham Joyner. Joyner joins the battle up front, and he's going to make a run for the lead down here at the bottom, but the outside line is formed up.
He's going to have a little bit of company behind him as well. Andrew Wisdom, he's looking to see if he can get a tow, maybe slip underneath this outside line. Doesn't seem to have come in yet. Oh, big wiggle from behind. That's Andrew Wisdom getting up on the curb. Great save from the number 9 machine, but that's going to allow Billy Kruska to slip underneath. Same with Steven Sims in the 45.
Fantastic racing so far. Right now, Kobe Moore just in a 3-car train. Bruppiker is that was there as well. They were racing near each other. I think Kobe Moore actually dropped back a little bit. Now he's about 5 seconds back from the field. So we're seeing that split there. We have a front pack of about 3 cars. They have half a second over 4th through 10th, and then 11th on back. They are sort of in their own little battle, but they're about 4 seconds, 5 seconds back from the leaders here. We're seeing these guys start to split up, but Joyner now up at the front gets passed by Presley Sora. He's able to work that draft so well, but the caution is out.
It is indeed. Taking a look around the track, I see James Walters in the number 14 car flipping pretty harshly. This is through turn number 3, it looks like. And that's not a pretty sight. And I hate to say who he got into, but it looks like he got into Covey Moore.
They were battling hard for that position. Here's the 14 now coming down the backstretch, entering turn 3. The car just understeers so badly. Slides up the track, unfortunately a touch to the left rear, sends them both around, flipping up through the air, and then it's just mayhem trying to avoid it. I'm not sure who that was in the blue and yellow car.
That was Victor Santos.
Victor Santos very narrowly avoided it. This onboard view, you can tell that wheel is cranked to the left. He's just trying not to lift though, because as soon as you lift, you get freight trained by the cars behind, spinning and spinning, flipping and flailing around. For his sake,
well, actually, Santos didn't get through it. He actually got involved. He was that 3rd car flipping.
yeah.
It was Antonio Grapilia who did get through behind in the number 18.
I can tell you, I hope you're not in VR. You're one of the flipping cars. But let's take a look on board with the 18 as he narrowly got through that wreck. Man, can you imagine driving this car about 230 miles an hour and seeing this whole mess in front of you? Watch as he gets through this event.
Oh,
wow.
Fantastic. job by him. Great heads up, literally. Had to go underneath a couple of flying cars over him, and he's going to stay out on track. It looks like we've got some pit stops as well.
We do have some pit stops. You see the 18 there, a little bit of front left damage to that wing, but you know what? If you've just survived that wreck and gotten through it completely fine, stay out, test your luck, because apparently someone's looking down on you and giving you some good talent there. That was fantastic for the 18. Great job, Antonio. I will say this, though. If you're one of those cars flying and flipping through the air, I mean, we saw it spinning like a top really just through the air. I hope you're not in VR. Um, I can only imagine that. Just we probably have drivers that are not feeling too well. If they were in that view right there, that would really really stink.
Yeah, don't usually get too car sick in iRacing. You might after a ride like that.
Oh yeah, that would be a little bit of maybe a little bit of cleanup. Who knows? But Presley Sora up there in first. Bill Kreska now worked his way up to second. Pazos in third. Steven Sims in fourth. Lotham Joyner joined the battle up front in fifth right now. A little bit slow down the backstretch. I think everyone's just sort of recuperating. Maybe he's texting or something. I'm not sure. But he's getting back up close to the field. Andrew Wisdom has the wisdom to know not to text and drive. Now he is going to be sliding back toward in sixth. Adam Cole's in seventh. Silvio Sanchez started in first. He's fallen back to eighth. Gruppiker started 14th, worked his way up to ninth, though, and Nick DeGroot sitting in 10th. I've got 200 laps, 5 miles to make all the bad jokes I possibly can. Folks, get ready, because more are certainly coming.
Looks like we've got 2 laps to go underneath caution. Wesley Sora, who will be staying out front, he's going to give a little bit of a bump back to the pace car here once again. He wants to get back going. He doesn't like these long cautions.
No, he does not. And Bill Kruska, we saw them working together yesterday, the 6 and the 96. Interested to see if we're going to see more of that today. We're 13 laps into this event already of 200. These drivers are now starting to get used to what they've got. They're used to the view of being behind the wheel of an Indy car, not an F3 car if they were in yesterday's race. They're starting to know where they're quick, maybe where they're not, where the strengths and weaknesses are. So we're going to see some more daring racing, dare I say. I think we might see a few more moves to the inside, a little bit more of a slingshot move around some of these other drivers. Now that these guys are getting comfortable, I'm excited to see how the racing's going to be.
Interested to see what this does to the strategy as well. These long caution laps, they're taking about 2 minutes a lap to get around. That is going to allow them to save fuel, click that gearbox up into 6th gear, and just cruise around here at a very low RPM. Don't burn too much fuel, and you're going to be able to get to go quite a few more laps than your competitors. However, a lot of these drivers that did take fuel stops right now, perhaps they were fixing damage as well, but either way, they're going to get back out on the lead lap towards the tail end of the field. They might be able to stay out a little bit longer, and if it cycles out, that might end up swinging back in their favor.
You're absolutely right. If I'm ever driving here, what you want to do is you want to be one of the last people to pit. And it sounds crazy, but it's because pit road entry is so difficult here. With 27 cars on track, there's a decent chance one person is going to make a mistake, maybe wrecking on their way to pit road. It's so easy to do. We see it with the professionals on a fairly regular basis as well. Getting to pit road is not as easy as it sounds. So if you stay out a little bit and you have a little bit more fuel than your competitors, maybe, just maybe, you'll get a caution. Have some good luck there when you're out on track still, and you can come down and take your pit stop under caution, and then you don't have to worry about hitting pit road from 230 miles an hour down to 70.
Yeah, exactly. You want to come down all by yourself, and that's something that these leaders, Sora, Kruska, and Pazos, are trying to do. They're trying to set themselves up later. The last thing you want is to try to get there on a green flag run. That is just terrifying to dive down there at the exit of turn 4. There is that escape route that you see. They use that for pit exit. They don't use that for pit entrance. So it just makes it all the more difficult for these drivers to get down there and to get wound down from 230, like you said, down to 60.
You are absolutely right, but I think green flag pit stops, they aren't even thinking about it. Wow, Bill Kruska gets right up there to Presley Sora. Maybe a few mind games being played right now, or they're getting a little bit antsy and just playing games with each other. Who knows? Presley Sora, though, still leads the way here. Lap 14, we're going to go back green. The pace car will hit pit road soon. Let's see what Presley Sora is able to do with Bill Kruska right behind him.
All 27 drivers still out on track. They've all got a shot to win this. 22 will take the green flag on the lead lap. Pace car is going to be able to pull off the exit of 4. Presley Sora, he's going to get back on the loud pedal. Look at that, another rocket launch from him. He's going to be able to get away from Kruska and Pazos. Pazos actually going to be able to gap back to Steven Sims a little bit. I'd watch out for that pass for second before I even think about the lead, because Pazos looks like he is in a hurry to get around Kruska.
Exactly what Presley Sora wants to see. He wants a side-by-side or even a 3-wide battle for second, as it looks like it was going to form up that way. Slows both of those cars down, but it's not going to work out in his favor. Now they have gained on his back bumper, and they are very, very close. About 2 car lengths off Bill Kruska is from Presley Sora. But Presley holds the lead. Just defend that inside line, and we'll see how it goes. No bump drafting here. Everybody's a little bit more conservative here than they were yesterday with the F3 cars, but now no touching bumpers, no touching wheels. Keep those cars socially distant at 6 feet apart, and everyone will come out of this race clean and healthy. Now Presley Sora still leading the way. Bill Kruska sits in second, but it's looking like a battle is forming up there. Up on the outside, Pazos is trying everything he can, but just doesn't have the speed right now to make something happen.
Steven Sims got a monster run on Kruska, and Kruska's going to wash up a little bit. He had to get off the gas, had some arrow push underneath Adrian Pazos, and from the back end of Presley Sora, that's going to hurt him big time. He's going to lose out on second. He's going to lose out on third. Now he's going to be under threat. He's got a train of cars forming behind him. That's Andrew Wisdom and Yari Brupaker side by side back there.
Not what he wanted to see at all. Presley Sora now slips into second. He hasn't been leading the laps. He's been beat right at the line by a couple thousandths each time, but he's been running in front for most of it. So we'll have to see what he's able to do here. Maybe get some laps led for that 96 machine, but at the same time, the only lap you need to worry about leading is the last one. So now he's sort of learning, all right, if I exit the corner and I'm on the inside, I need someone behind me. Otherwise, I'm not leading the laps. It's happened the past couple laps in a row. 18 laps now in this event of 200. Everyone's starting to get a little bit dicier. They're side by side for the lead.
And they might need to cool this down just a little bit. Tires will begin to wear, and that will string them out a little bit more. But the tires are going to have to wear by this race staying green. And I don't know, by the looks of it, back here between 6th and 5th place, Yari Brupaker, Adam Coles, and there's the caution just as I say that.
Commentator's curse strikes again, taking a look back through the field. Let's find out who.
That is the 0-2 of Juan Carlos Marciano. I see him actually stuck in the catch fence.
Oh no, that is not where you want to be. There's a lot of different. There's a lot of different lines around this racetrack, and I don't think inside the catch fence is one of them.
Yeah, he went for that Herbie fully loaded race line, and it just didn't quite pay off for him. That's Covey Moore to his inside. Oh, maybe a little contact there. Might have been a little bit of net code. And wow, that's hey, the catch fence did its job. There's my secondary Mac code today.
The catch fence, yeah, caught the car. You made a Herbie fully reloaded. I haven't seen the movie in 15 years, so am I missing something here? Or
no, Herbie, that's what he did. He went to the outside. He went up on the catch fence. That's how he won.
So he cheated.
I think Lindsay Lohan and I are gonna have to disagree with you on that. There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't go up there, but if you do it wrong, like Juan Carlos Marciano just did, you're gonna have to pay for it, you know?
I don't know about that one. I'm gonna have to do some digging of my own. Lindsay Lohan, I don't know. That's not exactly my reference for racing knowledge, rules, and regulations. So we're gonna do some research into that here. If Herbie cheated to win, because I think there's now a decent argument to be made. Let's hear the thoughts of the people in the chat though. Did Herbie cheat to win? And
Unbelievable.
I don't know. Should I be taken to the gallows, to the gulag for having not seen that movie since I was a kid? A lot of drivers hit pit road. Presley Sora, though, chooses not to. Steven Sims stays out. Looks like a lot of the front runners come in, but Adrian Pazos decides to come in. A lot of the front runners decide to stay out, excuse me. Pazos hits his box perfectly in, and now the pit stop commences. We're going to see, I bet, 4 tires here for these drivers, pack it with fuel, and get back rolling again. Adrian Pazos with a great stop, a little bit slow on exit. I think he might have been in the wrong gear, but manages to keep his.
Oh, let's go back to Yari Brupaker. This is a bad stop for him. It's a pit exit, and he's gonna swing it out of the box.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I think he also started in the wrong gear. As soon as that car dropped, he was hard on the gas there, floors it. Everyone manages to get around, but then he's doing an Austin Powers 3-point turn there. He's sideways on pit road.
Yeah, such a narrow pit road, and pretty miraculous, honestly, that he didn't hit the wall. You know, one of the things on iRacing now with these cars is that you can, you don't have the choice anymore to take 2 tires. You don't have the choice to take just 1 tire. It's either all 4 or none of them. With the Dallara IR18 now, and Yari Brupaker, either taking 4 or 0 there. He's just swung it, on cold tires. It looks like.
Hey, you're absolutely right, and has to make that 3-point turn there in the middle of pit road. Props to everyone for not running into him, and props to Yari for not running into anyone else there. It's very easy to do here. One tiny mistake can compound, though. He manages to hold on to 7th place, but everyone back up front. The top 4 stayed out. Presley Stora still leads the way, and I imagine he's still saving quite a bit of fuel, doing everything he can, cruising around in 6th gear right now, just so he doesn't waste a single drop.
So we've got 2 more pace laps here. Hey, Presley Sora, I don't think that they're not fighting for points, but if they were, they might get Presley might get a bonus point for leading the most laps here. He's been out for a lot of this.
We will have to see. We're just a few laps into this event, 20 laps into the event, but 200 laps still, so 180 to go here in this event.
Further back, I don't see too much shifting up front. Like you said, didn't have too big of a green flag run there. Steven Sims and Billy Kruska still 2nd and 3rd. Adam Coles has made his way from 10th up to 4th. Hey, teammates with Presley Sora in that number 25 car. Keep an eye on Adam Coles. Haven't seen any of him today. Back in 4th place.
No, we have not, but certainly on his way up the track. Up through the field, I should say. Nick DeGroot also 15th to 10th. Brandon Jackson started in 26th now, all the way up to 11th. There's some drivers working their way up through this field, and I'm so excited I can barely speak.
I'm wondering if Juan Carlos Marciano, the more I see him still sitting in the pits, he's definitely taking a tow. I think he already took his fast repair in this race. The 0-2 car might be our first retirement of this event.
That would be very unfortunate to see that, to go out of this race already, just 21 laps in. It's frustrating. It's so beyond frustrating when you've prepared for this event, you're ready for 500 miles, and instead you wind up doing just 21 laps of the 200 slated here. We're at 10.5% of the way through this race, though. Once we get to this next lap completed, we will be at 11% of the way through this race already. So 3 cautions so far. I think we're going to see some green flag racing coming up. I believe it's 2 to green right now, and getting ready to lead the way back to the green flag once again will be Presley Sora, with Steven Sims right behind him. Bill Kruska sits in 3rd.
Lights are out on the pace car, and I can confirm the answer to my question earlier. Juan Carlos Marciano Does look like he's left this race. So we've gone down from 27 down to 26 drivers on the field today.
Juan has left the building. He's taken a step out. I think he's watching from the pagoda last I checked. He's up there on the spotter stand. Hopefully he doesn't drop a sandwich down, otherwise he'll be kicked right on out of here. And right now, getting ready to come back to green, though, Presley Sora still leading the way over Steven Sims, Will Kruska, Adam Coles, and Philippe Kerselbeek starts in 5th there. That's your top 5.
I feel like that sandwich story was based off of experience, Jeff, but I don't want to dig too deep in your personal life here at Indianapolis.
Oh, it was, I think it was Kevin Hamlin, NASCAR spotter, got kicked off the pagoda. Not kicked off the pagoda, but asked to leave. And they took a hard card in NASCAR because he had 2 sandwiches with him. And he started eating one, and someone's like, "Oh man, I'd love a sandwich right now." And Kevin just picked up the sandwich and tossed it over to the guy and missed. And the sandwich fell off the pagoda. And so the officials went up and said, "All right, who had the sandwich?" And, he's got crumbs all over his mouth. "Oh, no, not me." And then, yeah, sandwich gone.
All right, well, Jeff, thank you for that.
Oh, man. Coming back to the green flag, Presley Sora leads the way here. Another rocket ship start down the front stretch for him. Takes it down to that pit lane wall to break up the draft behind. Goes back to the outside wall before the entrance to turn 1. Dives it down to the bottom. A great run coming on the backstretch, though, for Steven Sims. We've seen it on all the other restarts. Presley Sora gets a little bit low there, man, just to save the car with a little bit of a wobble. And now Steven Sims looking for a pass on the outside. Bill Kruska sits in 3rd, but he's battling. Trying to get up to the rest of this top 2 here. Adam Cole sits in 4th, a little bit further back from William Kruska. Now it's a 3-way battle for the lead. Presley Sora sits in 2nd. Steven Sims now leads the way.
These drivers, they are looking like fighter jets, and it's fitting for Steven Sims in that U.S. Air Force paint scheme. But how about Billy Kruska trying to sneak up through the middle? Maybe no, he's going to think better of it. He's going to get out of the gas on the entrance of turn 1. You got to be careful. He might lose 3rd place to Adam Coles.
You have to be careful here. It's all about maintaining your position if you can't make a pass on someone else. And if your chance of gaining a position comes at the expense of probably losing a position, you might want to rethink it. But now, teammates up at the front, Presley Sora and Adam Coles are lined up 1 and 2. I think we're going to see those guys work together, throwing blocks on the other drivers, Steven Sims and Bill Kruska, trying to work their way up. No, Coles decides to go up to the outside. He's side by side with his teammate for the lead. Just a couple thousandths of a second, 1/1000th of a second separated Presley Sora and Adam Coles on that last lap. But score Adam Coles as having led a lap here at Indianapolis.
Doesn't get much closer on track than that. We saw how powerful the leapfrog was last night in the Indy Lights. We know that that's the same case here in the Indy cars, but that we are going to see those teammates work together up here for the lead. We might see drivers who aren't necessarily teammates try to get up there together, like Steven Sims and Billy Kruska, who are side by side in what is, well, I guess it looks like row number 2 back there battling for 3rd place.
A battle for 3rd right now, side by side. Bill Kruska doing everything he can to try and get around, but these teammates are still battling for the lead. Side by side once again, and Adam Coles is up on the outside. That's Presley Sora to the inside. It's going to be interesting trying to tell those two apart with identical paint schemes, but we'll do our best here. Presley Sora is the one leading the way. Adam Coles is in 2nd, up on that outside line with Bill Kruska behind him.
They are at a standstill right now. It's a 220-mile-an-hour standstill that they are stuck at. It's a gridlock. Same for the 3rd place. Oh, a little bit of contact. Kruska's going to go hard into the wall. After some contact from Steven Sims, he's going to come down and collect that bright yellow car of Nick DeGroot. 2 very fast cars taken out early. But look at this. They've come down the pit entrance, so we are going to stay green.
Right? Wow. I can't believe that. He got stuck up in the catch fence here. Now a side-by-side battle once again for the lead between Adam Coles and Presley Sora. I don't know which one's which. I've lost track of him. I was watching that earlier incident. Sora is down on the bottom. He's holding that inside line, flying into turn 3 in 6th gear, downshifts to 5th. Going through turn 4 now, carrying so much speed and momentum. He sees his teammate up to his outside, though. He's got to give way. Doesn't want to cause a wreck with his teammate, but they're side by side once again. Man, it is the Coles and Sora show.
And it brings Latham Joyner into the picture as well. He's come back up here once again in that number 27 car. And he's actually going to get to third place, and he's going to take a peek underneath Adam Cole's. Man, Joyner's looking awfully quick today.
Joyner now goes 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide up at the front. Joyner in the middle splits the teammates in 2. He's the meat in the sandwich. He pushes up a little bit, almost some contact. The car on the outside decides to lift. Play it safe. You'd want to make it to the end of this race. 14% of the way through, 28 laps in of 200. Presley Sora now slides into second place, trying to get a great run on Joyner. But will he have it going into turn 1? Yes, he's going to get up to the outside, carrying momentum. This track is a lot wider than you think. He's trying to make the outside work. He might have a run down the backstretch.
He might. He's stuck on that inside, and we might see a little bit of aero push. Oh, and the caution has just come out. Let's check to see who this is.
Rickard.
You're right. It is Scott Rickard in the 05, and he got into Steve Rada in the number 3. Rada, I think, is going to hit the wall all by himself here.
Yeah, he did, and then he came down the track and caught Scott Rickard. Oh, whoa, somebody else involved there. Another one of the teammates for Presley Sora. Wow, very, very close.
Tyler
Scott again. Oh, that's a heartbreak there. A lot of damage to that car. It was slammed into the wall and flipped end over end. Taking a look on board with the 05. Looking ahead, there's really no signs of trouble. You see that car start to push up. You go down low, and then the other car just takes it down to the bottom. Man, you're out of control at that point, and you're holding the brakes. You're along for the ride. Oh, very frustrating scenario where you're just stuck sitting there. Take a look, though. Nothing he could do. I think that might have been a teammate even based on the paint schemes, which makes that a whole lot worse.
Let's try to get on board with the number 14 of James Walters. He was back a little bit further, back in 20th at the time of the wreck, and he had a lot of snap-second decisions to make here, but he made the right choice, and he's going to get through cleanly. Watch here.
Wow, great job getting through it, James. What a very close call. That's nerve-wracking when you see those cars ahead of you wrecking. You're just, you know, you're guessing at where the best place to go is, but that can change in the blink of an eye.
As we come back live, I see pit road to be a busy place.
That it is not only for the lap cars, but now Presley Sora and the leaders are going to come down pit road. Somebody's staying out, though. That is Silvio Sanchez. He will inherit the lead. I think he pitted on that last cycle around. Bill Kruska involved in an earlier wreck, though, now 3 laps down, had to tow it back to pit road. Adrian Pazzo slides into his box there, looking clean. Presley Sora gets a great pit stop, though. He's off and away, but there were some cars that stayed out front.
Yeah, you mentioned Silvio Sanchez. He did come in earlier in this race. Still going to be a little bit lighter on fuel and a little bit older on tires, but he was our pole sitter, so he definitely knows how to get a car around here quickly. Behind him, I see Aaron Roofs, Covey Moore, Howard Wendell, and Nick DeGrew. I think those are drivers that have all taken their fast repairs.
I believe they have, and to cycle back earlier, we were discussing Herbie Fully Loaded.
Oh.
I've noticed that the ratings are very, very similar to the live-action remake of the Speed Racer movie. A 4.8 out of 10 for Herbie Fully Loaded, and a 6 out of 10 from IMDb for Speed Racer. 41% on Rotten Tomatoes for Herbie. 40% for Speed Racer, a difference of 1%. Herbie Fully Loaded got a 47% on Metacritic, though. Speed Racer, 37%. Now, I've seen Speed Racer. I saw it a few months ago. It's a weird movie, but it's not that bad, dare I say. And Herbie Fully Loaded, though, I don't recall it being stellar.
Surprised it got 47%. Gotta be honest, but I was very happy to see. Well, Jeff, you would like it. You mentioned you're a big Jeff Gordon fan. You know, I believe there's one or two scenes where he's standing next to a Jimmy Johnson that is clean shaven.
low points in both of their careers where they starred, and Herbie fully loaded even as background characters. The Speed Racer movie. Have you seen the Speed Racer
No,
one? The one
no, I haven't.
oh my god, don't watch it. It's terrible. Um, it's it's a mess, is what it is. Where it's like it looks like halfway through, the writers got fired and they just brought in people to fill in. They just read over what had been written before and then wrote the second half. And it was I couldn't
Ah.
watch it. I watched it with a couple friends, and the entire time we were commenting on how we couldn't tell what the target demographic of the movie was because the plot line is very like it's advanced where it's like very there's conflicts of interest and everything else and like a detailed storyline, but then the graphics are like for young children and we could not tell the target demographic of the movie.
Yeah, I would, I would go take a look at it, but I just don't think I'm gonna have the time. I think we've got a race to run here. We've got a lot of time for Silvio Sanchez to get this win done. He's got about 170 laps still to do it, Jeff.
That is correct. We are 32 laps into this event of 200. Silvio Sanchez leading the way now. Stayed out on that last caution. Aaron Roofs, Covey Moore, Nick DeGroot, all saying it there. Presley Sora, though, came down pit road, got 4 fresh tires, filled it up with fuel. Now he sits back in 5th place, trying to make something happen. I don't think it's going to be too long until he gets back up to the front.
Trying to take a look at how many drivers we've got left. I see 20 cars on the lead lap. There are a couple of drivers. I believe Tyler Scott has left the race. Latham Joyner as well. Someone who was so fast today. Man, these drivers are getting taken out quickly. Billy Kruska, who got up into the fence, actually, and we stayed green for that accident. He's still sitting in the pits. He had to tow under green flag condition. He's being scored as 5 laps down right now.
That's a very large hill to overcome, especially when he's still sitting on pit road. Man, that's frustrating, especially when you get in a wreck and there's no caution. But when you're stuck up literally in the catch fence, what are you going to do?
We've actually got that the replay of that Billy Kruska wreck that we haven't been able to take a look back at. Here it is now. This was, like I said, under green flag conditions. It's going to be Scott Rickard right there. There it is. That's Billy Kruska following the leaders coming out of turn 4. He's just going to get a little tap here. That's Steven Sims, the 45 car, that silver metallic car below him. A little bit of tap to the wall. If it gets even worse, there's Nick DeGroot spinning him up into the wall. And man, that's a nice, I give him 10 out of 10 for that landing.
Very nice parking, I must say. Nick DeGroot, though, just made it down pit road. I don't think he even got a penalty, but following along with Scott Rickard, sees this wreck ahead. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just sort of a bit of mayhem that far ahead of him. My goodness.
As we come back live, Jeff, looks like pace car about to pull off, and we're about to get set to go back green flag racing.
Silvio started this race in first. Now he's back up in first place. Aaron Roofs right behind him in second place. A good jump for Sanchez. Gets a bit of a lead over Aaron. Now dives it down to the bottom of the pit road wall, takes it back up to the outside. Entering turn 1, gets right down to the bottom here. Protecting that inside line is key. When these drivers get a big run going, you have to just hold that inside and try not to get past.
That's what Sanchez is going to try to do here. He's going to go defensive. He's going to sit right in the middle of the track. Oh, that's a late move from Aaron Roofs, who gets down. He probably clipped the grass. Indianapolis Motor Speedway is going to thank him for his landscaping job, and he's going to thankfully take the lead coming into turn number 4. Watch out for Covey Moore after taking his fast repair. He's up there as well in contention for this lead.
Don't forget Nick DeGroot now. He took his fast repair, got that car all fixed up. He's battling for the lead. Presley Sora sticking his nose in, thought about going 3 wide, thought better of it, put Presley up to 4th. Now sitting in 3rd, it's a second. It's a side-by-side battle for the position between Aaron Roofs and Nick DeGroot. That's letting Silvio Sanchez start to pull away a bit here. Let's see if he's able to get more of an advantage.
They just get more and more bunched up as the time progresses. Nick DeGroot has got a whole gaggle behind him. Aaron Roofs, Presley Sora with a huge run. Remember, he's got those fresh tires. He's going to try to look underneath. He's going to have a very strong advantage. He's already going to be looking to get a run on that bright yellow number 7.
Looking for a run, but up in front now. The lead stays with Silvio Sanchez by 11 thousandths of a second. Nick DeGroot was in second place at the line, but they were side by side. Now Nick DeGroot out to first place. Presley Sora slides into second, up in front of Silvio. Now they are battling. Man, look at Presley bob and weave around the backstretch, trying to form that run, and now they're side by side for the lead going into turn 3.
How about Presley Sora? He might be able to get this done on the outside. If he can keep that up, look at that big run. He is going to get it done. He's going to take the lead here at the finish line, but how about Aaron Roofs? Is he going to try to thread the needle and go 3 wide? He thought about it. He's going to have to get out of the gas big time, and we better hold off because Silvio Sanchez is right behind him looking for the podium.
Very intense racing up front here. Presley Sora still side by side for the lead. Nobody's really, I don't think anybody's really led a lap by a full car length at this point yet, but they're 3 wide out front. Now Nick DeGroot falls back a little bit, makes it 2 wide. Aaron Roofs, though, now slides up into second with a great run down the backstretch. He's trying to gain on and pass Presley Sora.
We're starting to see that disparity with the aero push, the tire degradation, but not right now up front because look at that big run from Aaron Roofs in the 26 car. He's going to go to the lead. He's going to get Sora cleared here in turn number 1. Sora's going to answer back violently here in turn number 2. He's going to look to the outside. He's going to get a massive run now.
By side down the backstretch, the teammate chooses a teammate. He's going to sit up on the outside, try and get a bit of a better run and get the outside line rolling, but more importantly, not give any more speed to the inside line. Now the teammate sort of falls back in place. That's Adam Coles now in third place, trying to do everything he can to get up and help Presley Sora get the lead for the team. He's going to be clear, kind of, sort of, not really, coming across the line, but Presley Sora leads that lap. It's still anybody's chance to lead a lap here, though. Anyone in the top 5 could lead the next lap.
I will say that's the first time we saw the leader come out of turn 4 and stay up against the wall. Didn't try to break that draft at all. I kind of caught everyone behind him off guard. He was able to keep that almost, like you said, by a full car length, but now he's going to have to go back down to the inside and protect that lane through turns 3 and 4, and he's going to have it.
Certainly is, and now the teammates are lined up 1 and 2. That's Presley Sora and Adam Coles. They've been strong all race now. 39 laps in, 40 laps in. We're a fifth of the way through this event already here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Presley Sora leads the way on lap 40.
Side by side behind him still, that's Adam Coles underneath Aaron Roofs. That might get sorted out here eventually because that momentum is going to shift. Oh, a little bit of a blink there from Adam Coles. Not a track that you want to have some internet connection problems. That's going to allow Silvio Sanchez to get a big run behind him.
Sanchez with a big run, but not big enough to make a challenge for first or second. Aaron Roofs now slides into third. Fourth place, Silvio Sanchez trying to make something happen. Now he's sort of stuck behind. Didn't really have much of a run there. Now here comes the run. He's going to slide down to the bottom and try and seal away third place when Aaron Roofs jumps to the outside.
And Presley Sora is flying, but we're right on board now with Sanchez. Look at this. They're all going to kind of fall into line. Look at this on the backstretch. See what he can muster up. That's Aaron Roofs on the outside. Sanchez is going to jump out as well and follow him down into turn number 3.
Side by side they were for second. Now Aaron Roofs takes it. He's got his sights locked on Presley Sora in first, but the caution flag is out.
Oh, Philippe Kerselbeck in the 55 car. He got into it with Yari Brupaker, another fast one out there. There was another flipper as well, Victor Santos. He's going to have his second incident of the day. Let's watch the 55 here of Philippe Kerselbeck.
Big wreck there. Kerselbeck spiraling really through turn 4 and the exit of it. Just the tiniest touch from Bruppiker in the 89 sends that car out of shape, and it was just all downhill from there. That car is completely destroyed. Here to fix that.
Hard to see it, but we'll see this onboard camera. Oh, we got a little tap from behind. I see Victor Santos involved and looking back to see if he was involved. No, that was Yari Bruppiker and the number 89 who was underneath him. Maybe he just gave him a shove into turn number 3. Maybe a little net code, hard to tell.
Just a tiny touch. Taking a look on board the 55. You see it entering the turn here. Not there, but coming up here, entering turn 4. That's the 93 ahead, but just a touch from behind. Has the car kind of sort of saved and then gets run into, flipping through the air. And once again, I really hope he's not in VR. During the course of this caution, though, pit stops are occurring. We're going to take a short break here and then come back to you with the action here. We're a fifth of the way through the race at Indianapolis. As it sits right now, Steven Sims leads the way, and I say as it sits because Presley Sora is right behind Aaron Roofs as well, Adam Coles, and Silvio Sanchez round out the top 5. All those drivers have been extremely quick. They've all led laps this race, and they've all been fighting for that lead, Steven Sims included, but it's a 5-car battle for first place we've seen the past couple laps here. 45 laps into this event, though, of 200. Coming back to the green flag, Steven Sims with a good jump. Presley Sora now getting on the gas, trying to make something happen here. I think he's going to have his chance down the backstretch.
Man, back for 7th and 8th place. We already had some shuffling going on before they got to the start-finish line. But yeah, Steven Sims, that was a great jump he had. Watch out for Presley Sora. We've seen this over and over again. This is like we're watching this on replay. He's going to look to get a big run down the backstretch. They're going to weave down to the grass and shoot back up the track. There goes Sora with a full head of steam, headed down to turn 3.
Heading into turn 3, the outside line is rolling. Let's see who has the advantage, though. The inside line is shorter, but you can carry more speed on the outside here at Indianapolis. Looks like Aaron Roofs has chosen he wants to help out Presley Sora. Jumps in right behind, decides not to bump draft. Here comes the teammate of Presley, Adam Coles, though. That 25 car now sliding into 3rd place around Aaron Roofs. Going to try and help his teammate out and get the lead.
He's going to look for that opportunity, but he's going to be stuck on the outside. Sora will be. Now let's see what Adam Coles does right behind. Oh, they're going to start stacking up because here comes Aaron Roofs to the outside.
Roofs to the outside. Right now, Adam Coles is clear, but he blinks out for a second, comes right back in. Like you said earlier, not the place you want to be blinking. Now the teammates are lined up. They make a bold move to the bottom. They're going to paint that inside wall with their tires. Man, very, very close there Presley Sora was. Now I think we're going to see Presley take the lead here and get some help from his teammate behind down the backstretch. But Steven Sims now still holding on to that outside line. Never really got a chance to get clear and come down to the bottom. The teammates are lined up, though, painting the white line down the backstretch.
2 by 2. Now it's going to be 2 by 3 because look at this. To the outside goes Kevin Kittleman from 6th place on up into the top 5. Looking around the outside, he's going to get 1 spot up to 4th. He's going to try to clear the drivers behind him. This is all happening behind Presley Sora, who's still trying to fend off Steven Sims for the lead.
Sora holding on to that lead. Adam Coles trying to find a place he can work his way around. But right now, side by side, still battling for the lead. The gap between the two on the last lap at the line, 1/1000th of a second. Steven Sims led the lap, but Presley Sora holds strong on the inside, and he's got a good run down the backstretch.
He does indeed. A little bit of hesitation. Maybe he's going to follow Presley Sora now down to the bottom of the track. Shoots back up. Going to try to arc that corner in. I think he made that move a little bit too late. He's going to have to try again in 1 and 2. That is only if he can hold that spot over Kevin Kittleman, who's on the outside of Adam Coles for 3rd.
Battle for 3rd, but the battle for the lead still rages on. Steven Sims looking inside, outside, trying to find a way around. He settles on going to the outside. 3 teammates up at the front here, though. Here comes Kittleman now in another identical paint scheme. I'm pretty sure they're all teammates right now. Running up near the front, Presley Sora blocking down to the bottom, but Steven Sims is right now between 3 identical-looking cars, trying to make something happen. But don't forget about Andrew Wisdom. He's still in this mix. Adam Coles as well. Very great battle for the lead up here.
And Steven Sims, did you see that run he got on Presley Sora down the backstretch? He had to back off because he was coming up so quickly. That hurt him a ton. Now it's going to help him because he's going to have a huge gap to close in here. That slipstream's going to reel him in onto the back of Adam Coles. He's going to swing back down to the bottom of the track. Oh, I don't know, Jeff. Steven Sims is looking a little bit wobbly back there in that 45 car for 3rd. Looking at Andrew Wisdom, like you mentioned. Look underneath him.
A little bit wobbly there, trying to maintain control of this car at 230 miles an hour. Sounds pretty difficult, and it's even harder than it sounds, but managing to hold on to it. There's still 2 teammates battling side by side for the lead. Presley Sora, Adam Coles, doing everything they can to maintain this lead, but both of them want to be out front here.
We're going to ride on board with Andrew Wisdom here. He's getting a great look at these 2 teammates battling for the lead. I don't know if they're so much battling for the lead as they are just maintaining the lead with one another. They're just kind of managing this race. They're setting the pace for the rest of the field, and they are, this is certainly a big statement from that team, from Indy Autosport, because they just want to keep this lead for that team. So exactly what we saw last night in the Indy Lights.
Team orders at play here. Hold on to that lead. Don't let anyone by. I imagine that's the conversation going on over the radio. They're doing a great job of it. Almost saw some bump drafting there. That doesn't work as well in these cars as it does in the F3 ones. But nobody's told them right now as they got very, very close right there. Still holding on to the lead. Adam Coles led that last lap, but Presley Sora is holding on to the bottom here. He's the car on the inside. Adam Coles is riding the outside line.
There's that thin white line down towards the bottom, and there is room down there to put your left side tires, but not too much room after that because you've got a daunting curb there. You can see, I keep seeing Presley Sora. There's a bump that goes down at the bottom of the track into turn number 3. That's throwing his car off a little bit. He would have had a full lane, I think, ahead of Adam Coles if he weren't to hit that. But then again, if he were to come up onto the outside of the track, he would lose the lead altogether. So they've just got to be very careful here. The handling of the cars, it gets overlooked at Indianapolis a lot. It's something these drivers are really starting to deal with.
Absolutely. The tires are getting worn in. They're starting to get warmed up now as well. So you'll see some cars sliding around, but they're holding on to the lead. Here comes a look to the bottom, then a look back to the outside. Andrew Wisdom just has nowhere to go there in third place. These guys are teammates and they're side by side, really preventing anyone from getting a good run going.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job at it. It's exactly what they need to keep up. They're really not able to pull away. They're not leapfrogging too well. I'm surprised Presley Sora is not choosing to get to the outside lane. Now he might be off the gas a little bit. It looks like Adam Coles, man, he almost just about cleared him heading into turn number 1. Not able to do that, but he's certainly starting to break away. I just think they could probably break away a little bit quicker.
Perhaps they could, but right now they're doing what they need to do, which is hold on to the lead. Adam Coles, though, oh no, he's now lost the outside line. Andrew Wisdom had a great run going, and Adam Coles couldn't block it. Now, put Wisdom up there. Oh, a big check up there from Coles. He's in a bit of trouble now, but Presley Sora still holds on to the direct line.
Adam Coles losing all sorts of speed, trying to make it up by going lower on the track. He got turned by himself on that curb that I was just talking about. That was Rob Fossenau that came through behind him, and that KFC car went straight into the catch fence.
Well, KFC you later because, man, oh, wow. A lot of cars damaged there. But let's take a look on board with Adam Coles. That car flipped all the way down the front stretch. It kept getting hit all the way to the pit road entrance, and it finally came to rest probably about 10-15 seconds later. What a wild ride.
Yeah, that is a roller coaster of a ride. Let's see this here. Man, Roger Penske, he's maintained the golf course here. He's taken out the bathroom troughs, and it looks like he put in a roller coaster.
That's one I'm not a big fan of roller coasters in general, but that is one I would certainly stay far away from. Wow.
That is, it's just crazy how quickly something like that happens. I mean, he was one of the fastest drivers out there. Looked like he was going to have a really good shot at this win. Maybe he still will. Not sure if he's already taken that fast repair or not, but either way, Presley Sora has got to be a little bit more worried because as he comes down pit lane here, he's going to be all by himself up there in terms of teammates.
I think he still has Kittleman working with him. I believe they are teammates. They have an identical paint scheme. So Kittleman is in fourth, but right now some pit stops occurring. I believe somebody just stayed out, though. Yes, they did. That would be Adrian Pazos decides to stay out here, as does Michael Broomhead. James Walters had a good stop, and now he's coming out near the front. Presley Sora, though, now finishing up his pit stop, gets rolling again, and is going to be back out on track first.
Yeah, remember, Jeff, these are two drivers that were able to stay out. because they were able to take tires and fuel earlier on in this race. We've got a little bit of a break in the action under caution. Why don't we pull in Steve Arada here to talk to us? We've got a couple of these drivers that were out of this race early. Steve, you're back being scored in 23rd. Your bright blue at number 3 car sitting on pit road, but it looks like your day might be done.
Yeah, they pulled the car off. We're pretty much done for today. Too much damage to the car.
Which wreck were you caught up in? Was it the one right at
Lap-
the beginning?
Lap 30 wreck.
I definitely caught out a lot of drivers. And only about 27 laps ago, we've only about made it twice the distance since then. But what were you seeing out on track? Looks like these cars are all just staying so tight together. Such big pack racing here. Not like we see too much at Indianapolis a whole lot with these drivers. I thought they might be strung out a little bit more now, but looks like you guys are all just stuck right together like a NASCAR race.
Yeah, that's how it's been constantly been in the race. People not want to use their heads. Some have. As far as I've been seeing, mostly up in the front's been good racing.
Yeah, everyone back in the midfield certainly trying to inch their way forward. How big here is the run, and how much aero push are you experiencing through these corners? I've just seen so many drivers. It looks like you might be going blind into the corners like we saw in the Indy Lights race last night.
Blind, I could say, yeah. There's a lot of push, especially when you're right behind someone. I know from my own self, I went in the corner, and I guess I could say I went in blindly. Car just pushed up, and I got sent right into the wall. Try to lift off most I can, but it was already too late, smacking the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Steve, we thank you for stopping by. Thanks for that great driver insight from the track. Sorry to see your day end early, but still a fantastic race that you were able to put together for the 30 laps that you were out on track anyway. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Thank you. Can I give a shout out?
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
I want to thank Extra Life being on the car and Splash and Go Graphics. They've been painting up my cars for past 2 years now.
Awesome. It's a beautiful looking car, as we can see that on screen there. Love that design down the side. Certainly got some airtime today. I'm sure not airtime that he would have liked. We've also got another driver, Aaron Roofs, in this race. He's come in the booth, and Jeff has caught up to him. Aaron's a driver that is out there actually still driving.
I am.
You are. You're sitting in 5th right now, and we saw some really insane battling there. What's the key to just, making these big runs and jumping out of line and driving side by side without making any mistakes here?
It's really knowing your car and being comfortable with your setup, and trusting the guy next to you in a sense, I figured out Presley, Andrew, and I think someone else are all on the same team, so they're going to be defending each other. So it's you can kind of predict when teammates make moves. So, yeah. It's been kind of crazy, pretty intense for first 60 laps of a race.
We talked earlier in the race about it being a mental game of chess between all these drivers at well over 200 miles an hour. So how does that tie into while you're driving? You've got so many things to focus on. Do you feel like you're losing concentration at any point on these longer green flag runs?
No, I think, if as a driver, if you find yourself starting to lose concentration, maybe if you're close enough to the car in front of you, maybe you try and take a position or do something to get your mind to stay in it, because otherwise if you lose concentration and it's all over, so it's but right now I don't think we've had a really long run, so it's been interesting.
Do you have anyone you want to shout out here before we get back on green?
No, just out to my teammates Wolfpack eSports and my sponsor Artisan. That's it.
I did not realize you were part of the Wolfpack. Well, tell them
Yes.
Tell them that you're doing a great job out here. You're running top 5. Best of luck to you. Do you have
Thank
any
you.
do you have any teammates out here in the field with you?
Do I have any teammates? No. So I'm a Lone
No.
Ranger.
Oh man, the Lone
Yeah.
Ranger. Oh man, the cowboy
Yeah.
looking to ride away from the field here. Best of luck to you. We'll let you get your focus back as we're getting ready to go green.
Thanks, guys.
Aaron Roof sitting in 5th, the 26 machine, doing a very good job so far. has kept it clean, stayed out of trouble. Getting ready to come back to the green flag here, though. The lights on the pace car are off. Everyone getting excited now. They're coming off turn 4. Adrian Pezos leads the way. Michael Broomhead in second. That's a name we haven't mentioned much because he started all the way back in 21st and has worked his way up to second at the moment with some strategy here. Let's see what he's able to do now towards the front of the field. Sitting in second place is him. Presley Sora in third, but Pezos out front controls the restart. He decides to wait. The green flag comes out, and falling asleep is Michael Broomhead. That let Presley Sora get right up to that back bumper. He's going to make a dive to the bottom here. It's a side-by-side battle for second.
Falling asleep is right. He wasn't able to get the jump that he needed there at the start. It's going to cost him, but I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see him charge back here on the backstretch. Don't worry about Broomhead. There he is. Oh, he's going to have to look down low. A late maneuver there by Andrew Wisdom behind him. It just about caught him out. Just about turned him going into the into turn 3 now.
And Roofs now side by side. Let's see. He has to check up hard right there for Broomhead. He couldn't really get the turn rolling. Now Broomhead is falling like a rock through the field. Aaron Roofs now sliding up into line. Behind him, Steven Sims took the restart from 8th. Now he's up there battling. He's in 7th.
Just a nose ahead there for Adrian Pazos on the outside. We really have not seen that outside lane get rubbered in just yet. Look at how low Sora is going to go down on the front straight, or on the back straightaway rather. Here all the way down to the bottom to that grass strip. His teammate, his Indy Autosport teammate, Kevin Kittleman, like you mentioned, he almost gave Pazos a shove. Now Kittleman's going to fall in line back down in 4th. Looks like he'll be interested going down to the bottom line.
Looking high, looking low. Drivers are trying to find grip and speed anywhere on this track. But right out front, the driver with the most speed at the moment is Presley Sora, but he's side by side with Andrew Wisdom. 9 thousandths of a second separated them that last lap. Caution is out right now.
Oh, trouble. Yeah, we've got trouble back in turn 1. This is Michael Broomhead actually in the 03 car. What happened to him? He fell all the way back. And he got a touch from Adam Coles.
Wow, big wreck sends him up into the wall, spins like a top around the track. Seems like he was the only one really involved, though, and damaged in that incident.
Just a tap from Coles. It was enough to get him spinning. Yeah, that was a just really our single car accident.
It was the tiniest touch from Coles there, sends him around and spinning around and around and around and around and around and around.
I will say this was an accident. Andrew Bedrosian in the 22 car. We're getting on board with him in just a second. He was in front of a couple different cars. I see Jacob Ochimansky and Antonio Grapelia behind him. Bedrosian's going to see the caution come out. He's going to get on the brakes, and he's going to have cars coming to his inside that are going to force him to go to the outside lane. And this is a narrow miss from him as that car's spinning down the track.
And wow, great job by him. And he checked up. Cars behind him did not. So great job winning everything.
Another thing, Jeff, I find a little bit interesting is that caution came out when our leaders were in turn number 1. Andrew Wisdom had a nose ahead of Presley Sora. He's being scored our leader.
Wisdom scored the leader, Presley Sora in second, but Kevin Kittleman in third. Now, Sora and Kittleman, those two are teammates. Keep that in mind here as they are running, because now when they get going down the backstretch, I think we're going to see them work together and try and get around Andrew Wisdom here.
And a split decision on pitting here. And the strategies just get more and more funky. Adrian Pazos, he's going to come down pit lane. That makes sense. Nick DeGroot is going to follow him. How about Covey Moore? Seems like, you know what I'm noticing is that a lot of the drivers from last night's Indy Lights race, they're on one strategy. A lot of the Indy 500 solo artists are on another.
You're absolutely right. Now up front, like you said, strategy is different. Most of these guys running up front are pretty much on the same strategy, give or take a couple laps. Now coming back around, gets a wave around as a lead lap car. But a lot of cars are now sitting one lap down, and that's very, very unfortunate for them. It's very difficult to gain your lap back here at Indianapolis. There's 4 cars scored one lap down, 14 of them currently on the lead lap. I think that was Bruppiker now getting the wave around the lucky dog, so he will be sitting on the lead lap in 15th because Adam Coles was involved in that last wreck.
Yeah, we're down to, the number of cars on track getting lower and lower every caution. They do have one fast repair. I'm trying to see who all is still on pit road. This is an interesting one. Billy Kruska is still on pit road. He did have a fast repair. Maybe he took it by mistake on one of those first pit stops. That would not have definitely not would have been a big mistake. But he's on pit road. He's getting damage repaired the hard way. And it's putting him 36 laps down.
I believe he is one of the admins for this event, so I think he might be sort of watching over and making sure at this point because that was a lot of damage, and he was already about 3 or 4 laps down when the car stopped towing. So he might, at this point, just be overseeing the race because he's one of the head figures here at Sim Racers for Mental Health.
So we might have a couple of drivers coming back down pit road a second time. Trying to see who that is back there. Howard Wendell, Jacob Ochmansky. These are drivers that did not come down the first time. This is just them taking a different strategy. These were 2 drivers that were pretty content sitting in the back of the field, it looked like.
And that's a pretty good strategy here today, I think. You've seen all the mayhem that's been going on, all the wrecks and everything else. You might as well play it safe, play it, play back where it's calm, and not really get yourself near any of these wrecks and just be safe.
So a different picture up front as Andrew Wisdom leads. Jeff, I've been noticing the weather hasn't changed too much. It's a pretty cool day here in Speedway, Indiana. It's cooled off a little bit. It was about 110 degrees during our qualifying and at the very beginning of the race. It's dropped a little bit. That's interesting because we get further and further into the afternoon. It's 2:16 virtual standard time out there on track.
It is, and right now, though, the track temp is dropping, like you said, 106 degrees now, down 4 degrees from when we started. I don't think any of these drivers are really watching that track temp, though. I think they're all watching the bumper, the rear bumper, the guy ahead of them, and trying to formulate a good run here. Everyone has been giving everything they've got. We're 65 laps in out of 200, and we still really don't know who could possibly win this thing because there's so many drivers that are out there and running for the front.
Yeah, and another situation that these drivers just haven't been given today is are we going to get a long green flag run? Are we going to have green flag pit stops? And if we do, tire wear is going to become so crucial. None of these drivers have had a chance to practice with these cars on what feels like old tires to them, as it looks like the pace car lights have been extinguished. We'll get 2.5 miles under pace speed, and we'll go back to racing. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see what that would look like under green flag conditions.
Certainly will. All gearing up now, ready to go back green once again. Everyone getting excited here. Everybody trying to see, I guess, trying to flex their muscles and be one of the drivers that runs out front. But there's a lot of competition there. Nobody's really had a super advantage over everyone else. So we'll see here who's able to get out front and battle side by side for the lead. And if these teammates sitting second and third are going to be able to work together and get out front.
Haven't seen Andrew Wisdom start one of these restarts from the pole either. We've seen Presley Sora just launch as soon as that pace car pulls off pit road. A lot of drivers have different strategies. Sometimes that'll allow an even bigger run if you do launch that early. Maybe Wisdom will wait until the green flag manually flies here from iRacing's flagger in the stands, and that'll just be interesting. A lot of drivers have different strategies to earn them just a couple different tenths of a second on track we're talking here.
That's exactly it. Just a few tenths is all that separates these drivers here. And the timing of your restart is absolutely crucial to your run down the backstretch, especially.
Well, here we go. Coming out of turn 4. Going to be taking the green flag on lap number 67. What's Wisdom going to be able to do here?
Getting ready for this restart. Coming to lap 67, about a third of the way through this event. He gets a good jump there over Presley Sora, but Sora is going to hang back in that draft with Kittleman not too far behind at all. The 96 and the 11 are going to look to work together going down the backstretch, make something happen, but Kittleman is actually pretty far back off of Sora. Now Sora jumps to the outside and gets a little bit of a wiggle, but they're going to be side by side going down the backstretch, and here comes Kittleman, going to try and gain on these guys, and Sora up on that outside trying to get clear. Looks like he's got the spot. He's in the lead. Wisdom jumps up to the outside. Kittleman's going to go down and look low. Wisdom's going to block it there. 1, 2, 3 in a row for the front. That's not going to stay that way for long as they're already looking 2x2 again.
There's no way Kittleman's appreciating that block from Wisdom coming through turn number 3 and 4. But look at this, a fourth member of the party has joined. Silvio Sanchez, what a monstrous run. He got to the outside, even puts a nose ahead as they're 3 wide now through turns number 1 and 2. Through the short shoot and onto the backstretch.
Take a ride with Kittleman as he's watching this 3-wide battle for first ahead of him. He's got nowhere to go. He's sitting there wondering, what do I need to do? Well, you need to watch out for Steven Sims now, who's joined the battle. Staying down there on the inside is Kittleman behind Sora. That's his teammate. First and third are working together. In second place is Andrew Wisdom up on the outside. They're side by side. Sora is clear side by side for second. Now a side-by-side battle for fourth as well, as Silvio and who's that? Steven Sims are now going to be battling here shortly.
I think it's safe to say this is going to be Presley Sora's race to lose. He's been so dominant as we are now working on lap number 69 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Everyone all in a line, jostling for position back behind him. They all go down to the grass. No apron down there for them to work on. Like last night, a little bit of a bump from Kittleman to the back of Andrew Wisdom. He's not going to want to be bump drafting too much because Steven Sims went all the way outside of the wall to avoid that. And now look at the gap that they've got in between second and third.
You're exactly right. You don't want to be bump drafting here. It's a game that's far too dangerous for lap 69, now lap 70. You got to be safe here. You got to be smart. You don't want to cause a wreck by getting into someone's back bumper. Stock cars, yes. Bump draft, absolutely. Indy cars, not so much.
Yeah, the big advantage for stock cars is that they've got a bumper, unlike these Indy cars. The Dallara IR18, which just has that tiny little rear wing on the Super Speedway package. Man, look at that run from the outside from Kittleman. That's going to force Andrew Wisdom to fall back big time. Presley Sora, he is just commanding this race around here.
Commanding the race, demanding respect as he is just absolutely not letting anybody nearby. Here comes a teammate up on his outside. We could see the same strategy now where they just ran side by side, swapped positions on occasion to hold on to that lead for the team. That's most important for these guys. Steven Sims was sitting in third. He's now been passed by Andrew Wisdom. Sims back in fourth. But here comes Andrew Wisdom with a great run up on the outside, but I don't think he's got enough steam in the tank to clear Presley Sora. I don't think he's got it. Sora holding on to that bottom right now. And sitting in third place, Kevin Kittleman trying to do what he can to help out his teammate and get a run going.
This is all fun and games for Presley Sora, but he is burning through those tires if he continues to stay on that bottom line. If we do get a green flag run here, that's really going to hurt him. It's going to help some of these drivers that have been stuck on the outside throughout this entire stint, like Andrew Wisdom and like Steven Sims, who's going to get a big run as he comes down, hits that apex through turn 2 perfectly. He's going to have a big run, but he's going to have nowhere to go. He gets boxed in on the back straightaway.
In on the back, nowhere to go for Steven Sims. He's got teammates in front of him and on his outside. Not his teammates, but teammates of each other. Presley Sora and Kevin Kittleman have closed him, and Andrew Wisdom now slides into second. He's falling in line behind Presley Sora. We're not going to see that last for too long. He's going to try and slingshot around, but like you said, Presley Sora burning a lot of fuel, burning a lot of tires, but we'll see how that impacts him over the course of this run.
I'm starting to see these cars are starting to wash up a little bit more on the inside. Oh, that was Andrew Wisdom who almost came up into Kevin Kittleman there. Silvio Sanchez saw that. He took all the way down to the apron to get around him. These guys definitely not used to running this many laps under green flag. They're going to have to get used to it as we have less and less cars. This is just going to be the nature of this race. But Presley Sora, hey, he's loving this all behind him.
Absolutely. The more they're battling behind him for second, the more he can pull away and not have to worry. Got a teammate behind now. There goes Kittleman to the outside. Now that they are side by side, they're sort of in control of this race. They can block runs as they please and hold on to first and second place.
Only 15 drivers on the lead lap as we ride on board with Kevin Kittleman. Look at how much of a run he gets there. He's not able to leapfrog, though, with that leader, Presley Sora. That's a team strategy that they've just taken. They are just focusing on keeping one of their Indy Autosport cars out in front tonight. Hey, so far it's worked. Silvio Sanchez back looking underneath. He's not going to have any help from the slipstream. He's going to slide back in line. It's getting sparse out there. That's really helping this Indy Autosport teamwork up front.
We'll have to see how it works for them over the course of this run, but right now it's working very well for them. Lap 75 of 200 here, and they are commanding this race. Presley Sora has been showing his muscles, flexing them to the rest of the field. Here comes Silvio Sanchez up on the outside. Steven Sims behind Andrew Wisdom back there in fifth. Let's see what they've got for these front two cars, if it's anything at all.
Yeah, our pole sitter for this race, Silvio Sanchez, he was fastest in those 4 laps prior to taking the green flag. He's not fastest in the 200 during the green flag, though, and he's not able to get up there. Man, it is just a train of 2 different trains of cars as we see back further through the field. And then through the turns, it just gets shuffled down into 1 line. Watch for that to form back up into 2 here on the backstretch.
We'll have to see what these drivers decide to do. A big block there from Kittleman up in front of Silvio Sanchez. Man, very, very close right there. I can't believe they managed to make that work. Silvio had to check up quite a bit to avoid running into the back of Kittleman. Those aren't the daring moves you need to be making right now. You have to be careful here on this race.
He's going to have another attempt at it here. Silvio Sanchez, how daring is he going to get? How brave is he going to get? We're only on lap number 77. He's still got about 124 of those to go. He doesn't need to be making those 3 wide moves, but he's at least taking a peek and looking at him now. He's testing the waters. What can he do on these half-old tires? Steven Sims, he's going to take advantage of that opportunity. He's going to go around the outside, and he currently holds 3rd place, charging down the backstretch.
Charging down the backstretch they go. Now they are battling for 3rd, but a battle for the lead was forming up until Kittleman backed off. Seems like Presley Sora is really just able to use that clean air ahead of him to his advantage and hold on to the lead. Kittleman will get a run here, sort of block that outside line, but I don't think he's going to be quick enough to get around Presley Sora. I don't think he's going to try to either.
Things are definitely starting to calm down just a little bit here, it looks like, Jeff. I'm wondering if these guys have just, realized they're just focusing on the fact that we're not even halfway through this 500-mile crown jewel event for the Sim Racers for Mental Health, the Indy 500, presented by People of the Track as they come back down through turn number 3. It's side-by-side action from 1st all the way back to 5th, 6th, and 7th place. Just wild stuff out there.
Wild stuff it is as these drivers now completing lap 78 here, coming on to lap 79 of 200. Now Steven Sims sitting in 3rd, nowhere for him to really go, it seems. He's sort of stuck back in that position. Presley Sora is now set it to cruise control as he is sitting out there leading this race. He's got Kevin Kittleman along with him. Man, what a fantastic run for Sora, though, as they're now 3 wide for the lead.
That's one of those bold moves we were talking about. Presley Sora, how much longer are his Firestone tires going to be able to stick down there? Apparently, they're good right now because he came out way on top there. Steven Sims could not hold the outside at all.
It's not easy to do here at Indianapolis. Steven Sims get it done. Let's take a ride along with Sims, though, as he's trying to get up and get a run going here. He had one, but he couldn't make it work.
See the glare off that aero screen that these drivers are having to work with, that new Halo innovation on these IR18s to make them safer for the real-world drivers. It has taken away a little bit of vision for these drivers in the sim. Just makes it all the more challenging to get around these guys, to have some insight, some foresight into the future of these turns and to see where these drivers are going to be making those moves. They were side by side for 2nd. Steven Sims, as we see right along here, still on the outside. 220-mile-an-hour game of chess.
130-mile-an-hour game of chess almost here, but like you said, everyone out there formulating, planning, and plotting, trying to make something happen. The man on top, Presley Sora, is the king that can't be touched out here. He's really just been dominant so far, and now that we're seeing these tires worn in, I wonder if we're going to see any sort of separation through the field.
We might, but these drivers certainly aren't acting like they want to see any of that. It is just a continuous pack race. This train is not separating. It is a big run from, well, it looks like a big run from Kittleman up to Sora here. But these runs are starting to get less and less. Yeah, I think these tires are just starting to wear out. We've gone over 10 laps on this green flag run right now. We'll have to see how that plays out in terms of a fuel strategy. Should we stay green?
Should stay green right now? That is the key question, and that's what I think Presley Sora is hoping for. He's been strong on this long green flag run. Lap 82 now they're on. Steven Sims looking up to the outside. Aaron Roof sits back there in fourth. Don't forget about him. But now Sims is clear. He's got second place locked down, and he's about 5 car lengths off of Presley Sora.
It's not what Sora wants to see, but let's go back. Let's jump back even further back. We've got one driver pitting. That's Andrew Wisdom. That might be a little bit of strategy. No, actually, I can report Andrew Wisdom got into the wall just a little bit. You see this big pack of cars, though. 7th place is Philippe Kerselbeck in that McLaren paint scheme. Big run from Brandon Jackson in the 99 behind him. Nick DeGroot all in the mix here. Yeah, I think these guys are just kind of biding their time at this point, just riding in line. But not so much the case up front, because look at how chaotic this lead has become.
Presley Sora still leads the way with Sims up on the outside. Kittleman now sliding into third. But the outside line, we haven't seen it good for many passes up here yet today. So Steven Sims now sitting in second, just a car length back off Presley Sora, who leads the way still and holding on to that inside line for dear life.
Oh, so much hesitation from Kittleman there. It's going to put him on the outside of 3 wide. They've got to watch out. Those tires aren't fresh anymore. He's going to go to the wall, and he's going to take Steven Sims out with him.
We saw right there, taking a look at the replay. My goodness, we saw coming off turn 2, a great run formulating for Kittleman. It was a little bit of uncertainty here on where he wanted to go. He decides to go up to the outside, gets stuck at the top of 3 wide. Sora ends up getting clear right here, but just not enough grip up there to make the turn. Bounces off the wall, goes down into Sims. Both of those cars go off into the distance. Man, a lot of damage for both of them. I think that's a fast repair necessary for both those cars.
What a close call for Nick DeGroot back in the number 7 machine. We've got to get an onboard look at what he had through that. This was a very close call for a driver that was fast. This is the absolute worst fueling in the world. He had to split 2 flying cars here into the turn.
Right along.
Oh,
wow.
Boy.
Wow. Can you believe it?
This aero screen had a couple bugs on the windshield, but that's far worse than hitting another bug. Narrowly avoids that one, and he was another one that already had that fast repair taken, I believe. Oh man, such a tough break for those drivers up front. Indy Autosport, we already saw Adam Coles taken out in the last wreck. How about Kittleman here? Presley Sora is going to be left all alone with no help at the end of this thing if things keep up. Meanwhile, they're coming down the pits.
Coming down pit road, organizing now, trying to get down pit road. Presley Sora leads the way down pit road. Aaron Roofs comes down as well. Was that Kittleman that stayed out, though? I think so, because he would have just pit, yeah.
No, Kittleman is in the pits. That's Jacob Ochmansky.
Jacob Ochmansky now. I believe he stayed out there. He might have come down pit road, or he'll come down another time, but he's also... Pit road might have been... Yeah, pit road was close to him. That's why. That explains it, Mr. Soft Gang.
One driver this might help us out is Andrew Wisdom. He hit the wall on that last the wall on that last cycle of green flag laps, and he had to come down to the pits anyway. He's also out there on the lead lap.
Leslie Sora now comes off pit road, but Andrew Wisdom had a fantastic stop. Might have had a little bit of strategy there. We're going to take a quick break and then bring you right back to the action here, folks, when they're ready to go green flag racing. We're 86 laps in of 200 here at the Indianapolis 500. Going back to the green flag, Andrew Wisdom leads the way. Presley Sora not too far behind. We'll see who's got what it takes to get the lead here. Brandon Jackson, though, starting in 5th, started the race in 26th. Right now, he's all the way up to 5th right now battling, but Presley Sora looking to get a run here on Andrew Wisdom. We talked to him a couple minutes ago. Aaron Roofs as well now with a big run forming down the backstretch. He could have something to say in this battle.
Absolutely. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway. How many times have we said that today? Look at them go into turn number 3. Roll the dice again. Andrew Wisdom's going to have to fall back in line.
Andrew Wisdom falls in line. Presley Sora now back to the lead. He's up to... Oh, there goes the outside, but here comes Silvio Sanchez all the way down on the inside.
Oh, it is 2 by 2 once again. Wisdom to the outside. He's trying to make that work, trying to make that stick. I just can't believe Sora's been able to hold that inside so consistently all day long. Look at this to the outside, though. It's Sanchez. Who else would have made that monstrous run? It's a rocket ship coming into turn 3.
My goodness, what a run to get it 3 wide up there. He makes it work, though. Everyone comes home safer, but Presley Sora now in the lead. Let's see. Here comes Silvio. I think he's going to look to the bottom. No, he goes back up to the outside. Aaron Roofs now in 4th place, trying to get a good draft going and pull up right behind. But no, not going to happen. Brandon Jackson now. That pink and, is that purple? Is that blue? I can't even tell. Is that chrome? Might be chrome. Pink and chrome car sitting in 5th looking to make something happen. He's going to throw his hat into the ring.
Certainly is. He's going to be chasing with that slipstream. But Andrew Wisdom slid back up the track. Presley Sora, who's trying to get underneath Sanchez there on the outside. He's able to get underneath him, but he's not able to pull away. He's able to get a car length there. But look at this. Sanchez will slip back in line, shoot back to the outside.
Back to the outside he goes, but we haven't seen a pass completed on the outside quite yet. Silvio Sanchez not able to get it done. Now he's going to fall back in line in 2nd. Try and make another run happen down on the backstretch. Brandon Jackson, though, in 4th place, looking to make something work here. Into the grass goes Andrew Wisdom. Now up the track, he's flipping. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I think someone drove right underneath him.
I think this is the first wreck we've seen on the back straightaway, as the caution has flown as well. Yeah, he just all by himself got into the grass here. That is such a tough break for Andrew Wisdom.
Take a look at Steven Sims. Wow, if we can get on board with him, that would be phenomenal. Look at this wreck avoidance, how close it was.
We'll see Andrew Wisdom flipping through the air. We'll get to Sims in a moment. Wisdom, just snag that grass. Man, oh man. For Steven Sims, this was the car underneath. And there he is.
Wow.
That car that took to the grass as well was Andrew Bedrosian. He's had some nice rally skills down there, keeping that car in the straight line. But Jeff, Presley Sora, he's going to be able to keep the lead. I'm interested to see. We haven't seen, such a short green flag run in a couple of stints. Will anyone come to the pits here? A couple of people are looking. I'm not buying it yet. Yep. Okay. I see. This is why I can play poker.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Very, very close right there for Silvio Sanchez, man. Just to hold on though. And come out in 2nd place. I thought there was going to be a little bit of contact there with Presley Sora. I got scared, but all worked out.
Aaron Roofs was the first driver to come down pit lane. Adrian Pazos will be behind. Nick DeGroot, Covey Moore. This is that 2nd group of cars that pitted earlier in the race. Looks like we've got 15 drivers out on track. That's because Andrew Wisdom has taken it behind the wall. Yeah, I think that might have been his second fast repair that he was on. So, or the second car that he was on. No second fast repair. I think that might be day over for Andrew Wisdom. Heck of an effort, though.
It certainly was. He had a fantastic run going, but just clipped that grass the tiniest bit, and it sent that car up into the wall. But very close call for Steven Sims, who now sits in fifth. But shout out to Brandon Jackson, sitting now in third place. What a fantastic run through the field. I'm going to get a closer look at this car. I think that's silver. Am I blind? Is that chrome? I can't actually tell. It's silver.
That's called a spec map, right? A spec map, I think. Beautiful paint scheme. There are a lot of these cars out there.
I don't wear glasses, but I think I need to go visit an optometrist real quick.
I don't know if glasses are going to help you see which color it is, but hey, if you get the right kind, I'm sure they will.
Oh shoot, that's a good point as well. Ain't that swell?
As long as the other drivers on track can see the car, you know, the colors are all secondary. You know, they don't need that as much. They just got to know that there's a car there.
That is true. I don't know. Why can I not tell what color that is? Like, I'm looking at it and I don't know if it's silver, if it's chrome, or if
I mean, it's one and the same, really.
Oh,
it's got to be chrome. I mean, silver. But I mean, I would accept the answer of silver as well.
I don't
Jeff,
know.
it looks like
I'm having
like we.
crisis.
It looks like we're gonna get a break in the action though, because it looks like we've got a driver to talk to. He's come and joined us, Kofi Moore. We're about to be able to interview him. Maybe he'll know the answer to that question, but well, maybe he won't, because I don't think he's out on track anymore.
Track, he's running 13th. We got you here, bud. Oh.
Looks like we'll not be able to talk to him for now, but see if we can get him back later. Pace light's still out on the pace car, that Mustang pace car, leading these what is it, around 15 cars out on the track. I think we're going to get one lap to go here under caution. They're going to restart on lap number 97 if that's the case, and indeed it is. The pace lights go out. Man, Brent Bodine, he's turning a lot of laps out there in that pace car. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Brent Bodine. I'm not sure who the IndyCar pace car driver is, but we've got him. We've snagged him for him. We've snagged him today. He's agreed to come drive the iRacing Mustang pace car.
Speed racer behind the wheel of that car.
Oh, right, of course.
There we go.
I had to give a shout out to my grassroots at Chemung Speedrome, but you know, hey, maybe there's well, no, I guess there is only one person inside that pace car. I was about to say maybe there's two people like they are in real life.
Never know. But right now, Leslie Stora sitting just a car length off of that pace car, trying to get back green here. We're almost halfway on lap 96 of 200 here, and everyone now fighting for all these positions. We've had some great green flag runs.
Jeff, these nice viewers that have stuck around for this race, they've heard us yelling a lot at these restarts. Why don't we give them a little break from the action? We'll let them hear these cars crank it up here on this restart.
That sounds great to me. Once these cars go back green, we will be dead silent and you can just listen to these cars as we crank it up. These engines are a lot like ex-girlfriends, loud and whiny, but they're a whole lot more fun to listen to. Now going down into turn one, Presley Sora leads the way, Andrew Bedrosian in second place. But wow, what a fantastic run there for Presley Sora to get back into the lead. But the 22 car, the 99, the 47, all still battling. Here comes Silvio Sanchez on the outside, down the backstretch.
Presley Sora, he was under threat there. He had lost that lead for the first time today. That was incredible that he lost that spot. Andrew Bedrosian, Brandon Jackson, they were able to get around him there for a moment. But now, big shocker, Presley Sora's shuffled back to the lead. I don't know, man. Watch this run from the 22. Watch Andrew Bedrosian get around to the outside of turn number one. He's going to wash up a little bit, though. Watch out for Brandon Jackson behind him as well.
Brandon Jackson trying to make something work in that pink and something car, sitting in third place, now dives it down to the bottom, working on the inside, but the outside Andrew Bedrosian. Now here comes Silvio Sanchez. He hasn't been happy sitting behind anybody else. He goes to the top three wide, thinks better of it. Sitting back there in fifth, though, Steven Sims now trying to formulate a run. Out in front, Presley Sora is holding on with an iron grip to this lead, though, but the 22, very close move there now, side by side going down the front stretch. They're going to be just a couple thousandths apart crossing the line here at lap 100.
Halfway through this 500-mile race, the Sim Racers for Mental Health, and it is Presley Sora still dominating this race with Andrew Bedrosian. Right on board now with Brandon Jackson back in there in that third place car, and a little bit of wobble from Presley Sora. That's going to hurt him big time. 3 wide for second place. Jackson's going to look to the middle. Now he's going to slide out of line. Sora's going to take that spot back, and because of a big wobble from Bedrosian up front, Sora's going to somehow find himself back in the lead.
Wow, that was very lucky for Presley Sora. He had that lead loss, and Andrew was clear in that 22, but he made a bobble. That let Presley Sora get back out front. That also let Silvio Sanchez slide up in front of him. Now he's up to second place, looking to go to work on Presley Sora. Let's see what he can do going down the backstretch.
If anyone's willing to make a brave move, we've seen it time and time again today. It's that driver of the number 47. It is Silvio Sanchez. And look at this, up the middle. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe Andrew Bedrosian's the one. Well, maybe just a little bit braver in terms of grip here that these Dallara IR18s produce at IMS. Coming through turns 3 and 4, and now back onto the front straightaway. He's going to try to set up a big run on the leader, Presley Sora.
Jumps back up to the outside, but we haven't seen the outside work too well for these drivers. Man, very, very close racing, though. When these guys are side by side, they're driving closer than most people park, and they're managing to make it work and keep it clean. Phenomenal driving by both of them.
Yeah, this racing is looking just like a little bit like the parking situation here at the Indianapolis 500 in the real world. Now look at this big run from Aaron Roofs. Where did he come from? Out of nowhere. He was going to come back down the track and almost get into the wall. He came back down to Andrew Bedrosian, who really threatened that position, threatened his grip down there.
Very close call, and right now Aaron Roofs, though, up to second place, jumps to the outside. He's going to try and make that work, but I don't see anybody really having anything for Presley Sora. He's been so strong out front here in clean air, absolutely dominant.
Yeah, so far for him, that's been the key, is clean air. Just no one's been able to get up there, and there's been so much aero push and aero wake. That's why we see some of these guys just get such a huge run, but if you get stuck behind someone, kind of like what we're seeing right now with Silvio Sanchez getting stuck behind Aaron Roofs there on the outside line, you got to get out of the gas, and that just ruins your momentum down the straightaway.
Does, and that's the big word of the race, is momentum, because when you're at a track like this where you're on the gas for 90% of the track, if not more, when you lose that momentum, it takes you laps to get it back. Not a lap, multiple laps to get that momentum built back up again to where it was. You don't want to go out and lose any sort of momentum, and now it looks like Presley Sora getting a bit worried, bobbling a bit, making some mistakes. Aaron Roofs now up to the outside, but all Presley needs to do is defend that bottom line. Here comes Steven Sims with a great run. He's up to third place. Man, Silvio Sanchez is going to have a big run forming here soon, but nobody's got enough to get around the 96.
That's been a picture-perfect rebound for Steven Sims after having to take his fast repair just a few moments ago. He's already back up into this podium position, fighting for the lead now, charging forward. He's going to follow Aaron Roofs to the outside, fall back down to the inside, through it to hit his apex in turn number 1, comes back up through the short chute and back down low. Let's see what kind of run he can muster up here down the back straightaway.
Passing zones here at Indianapolis are entering turn 1 and entering turn 3. That's where you're most likely to make something happen. You can make passes in other places, but to finish it off, it's usually in turn 1 or turn 3. We've seen the opposite here for Presley Sora. That's his strongest part of the track. Even if he's entering the turn low, he's able to keep his speed up and get around the other drivers.
They've been out there for almost 10 laps straight on the green flag run. Tires are going to begin to wear. Presley Sora, he's got a big gap for now. Back to Steven Sims. But, he's just a sitting duck out there up front. He's going to get swallowed up in a heartbeat. Look at this big run that Sims is going to get down the backstretch. That's help from Aaron Roofs behind him.
Help with Roofs from behind, but Roofs goes into the middle. They're 3 wide for the lead. Who will come out on top here? Presley Sora. Now clear once again, and they're side by side for second. That's exactly what Sora wants to see in his rearview mirror, is those two guys battling side by side. That'll let him pull away a little bit.
And nose to tail behind him, they get linked up together again. Sims and Roofs do. They're going to look down to the bottom this time. That's Sims on the inside of Aaron Roofs back there for second and third. He's going to try to get a big run. Of all of the runs and the momentum that we've talked about, no one's been able to get around Presley Sora. We ride on board with Silvio Sanchez. He's getting a good look, and maybe this is the run that Sims needs on the outside. He might be able to clear Sora here. It is down to the last couple of inches. He can't seem to get that 45 car out in front. It would take a bold move to come back down low. He's not going to be able to do it. Presley Sora is going to maintain that lead up front, but it's going to be 3 wide. Look at that in the middle.
My goodness, what a battle for the lead. Roofs now is clear, but not clear enough to jump down to the bottom there. The lead is going to remain with Presley Sora, but wow, Aaron Roofs is seeming like the best competitor out here to make a run at the 96 machine. Let's see what he's got now. He's going for another run into turn 3. Steven Sims, though, jumps up to help. He knows that outside line could use some assistance, but Silvio Sanchez lurking in the background there. Don't forget about him. He's not afraid to make some bold moves happen. Brandon Jackson as well, sitting in 5th place, just waiting for these guys to make a mistake and jump at the opportunity.
Oh, Presley Sora, great heads up there. If he had come back to put a little defensive maneuver on Aaron Roofs, he would have been turned into the outside wall. Now Roofs is going to try to hold the outside. He's going to try to pinch him down to the apron as far as possible, and he's not going to have the room to fall back in line. Steven Sims is going to give him that room, but he had to let off the gas to keep that door open.
Very, very close racing there for second. Both Sims and Roofs want the same thing, and that's the lead from Presley Sora. They know that if they can steal that lead away, they can get him out of the clean air. They'll have a chance to battle for the lead on their own, but they can't do it without working together. I think we've seen a bit of a team form up between these two, a short-term alliance to try and get one of them around Presley Sora.
Yeah, that's an alliance for now. Everyone's friends at lap 111, like we're seeing right now. That friendship's gonna go out the window, assuming that they're gonna be there with 10, 20 laps to go. Right now, their task, I think, at this point is just to knock Presley Sora off his pedestal. As the cautions come out, we've got someone flipping down the back straightaway out of turn 2. That's Adam Coles in the 25 car.
Incident for Adam Coles. I think that's going to be the end of this day. Taking a look at the replay here, though. Oh, there was a car that got loose in front of him. Coles checked up and got run over.
Yeah, that's Antonio Grapelia right behind him. Not sure what happened there with the 18 car. We've seen him avoid so many wrecks today. Not able to avoid that one. Oh, it looked like there was a car spinning Yari Brupiker. Well, it didn't spin, but this is what scared Adam Coles. He had to check up big time behind.
Exactly it. Yeah. Right now, got a little bit loose, but let's take a look with Yari here. He just catches the bottom there, and that forces Adam Cole to check up, and Antonio Rapiglia, excuse me, doesn't get the memo in time. He Leroy Jenkins his way right through Adam Coles, and a lot of damage to the 25 machine.
Board with Antonio Grapelia. Yeah, he just charged right through there. Looks like it damaged the front wing just a little bit, but hey, at least he got some chicken.
Oh, here we go.
Back under caution once again at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Presley Sora, who else would be leading right now? Hey, these guys went about 15 laps on green flag tires. They're going to all come to the pits, it looks like.
Everyone making a dive to pit road. Presley Sora is down there. Aaron Roof, Steven Sims. I think they need 4 tires and fuel here for the next, that's what? Math, 89 laps in this event here. 112 complete, now 113 of 200.
That was an interesting little dive to the pits that Presley Sora had. He actually kind of stacked the whole field up and then accelerated at the last moment. A couple drivers like Jacob Ochmansky, looks like they slid through their stalls. That'll hurt them. Everyone coming out of the pits. One of those drivers is Covey Moore. Maybe we'll be able to get a chance to talk to him again. Covey, it looks like you're running out there. Let me check. Looks like 8th place you're going to cycle out here, but good to have you in the booth. How's the race been so far for you?
It's been a little bit of a stop and go type deal. It's they're racing really hard all around this place, and I found that out really early, like lap 11, when someone couldn't hold the inside on me. And no, it's just kind of a survival deal right now. Me and Nick, back-to-back teammate, we're just trying to be there at the end, have a car at the end. That's important. Everyone's kind of picking up a little bit of damage here and there once they're past that first fast repair, and that's just that's virtual attrition after virtual courage with that quick repair.
Yeah, you've taken your fast repair earlier in this race, like you said. How many other drivers do you think have that left? I think Presley might be the only one, honestly.
Yeah, Presley being the one that still has that lifeline is kind of terrifying because he's really fast. He's consistent around here and doesn't mind sticking the car where it maybe should be going, maybe shouldn't be going. I found that out yesterday in the Indy Lights race with him diving really, really deep on like almost looking to the grass there to get by me in that different setup deal yesterday. But I don't think there's too many more with that lifeline right now, that's for sure.
A lot of drivers out here seem to be struggling on the long run. How do you feel that your car is performing? Because we've had short runs, we've had long runs. How do you feel your car is on these longer green flag runs we've been seeing?
The longer runs, I definitely am finding a little bit of push rolling into it. We're working the roll bar and weight checkers as best we can, trying to experiment a little bit with that to see what we can't get out of it. Even in the clean air or clean-ish air, I haven't seen proper clean air all race, but even in clean-ish air, I'm pushing just a little bit right now. The goal in mind is to have that car at the end and see where the cautions fall. A lot like yesterday, just see if the cautions can fall in our direction. I don't think I have a car that's going to be slicing and dicing to win this race, but I know that I've got the strategy and teammate aspect that can go get us a win.
Absolutely, and having a teammate is important out there. Do you have anyone you want to thank here before we get back going green?
Well, you always got to start thanking that teammate. Nick's been keeping me calm. It was a little bit of a downer once once that early wreck happened. Didn't have a lot of faith in some of the guys in the server, but to obviously thank mom and dad for being mom and dad. And I think some of them are watching right now. And you got to thank the bandits. I fired the link out to everybody I knew. Not every day you get to get into one of these broadcasted races, so I think the bandits are watching back home, if you will. So big shout out to them and yeah, Nick for being a teammate and forcing me into some of this stuff.
Absolutely. Well, hop on that horse, get on out there, and pony up there, buddy. I got a good race going, and still a little under halfway left in it.
Thanks, guys. Have fun up there.
Absolutely. You as well. Have fun out there on track, Ovi. Thank you for joining us.
Well, Jeff, looks like we have some good timing with that interview. As the pace car comes across the line. We are working on lap number 115. We're going to restart in 1 lap's time. Lap number 116. It's going to be 85 laps to go here in the Sim Racers for Mental Health Indy 500, presented by People of the Track.
Absolutely fantastic race going on here. Take a look on screen for the graphic involved. Thank you to our sponsor here today, People of the Track, sponsoring this Indianapolis 500 here with the Sim Racers for Mental Health.
Well, Jeff, how many laps how many laps are you betting that they make it green flag here? Don't say 85.
I'm going to say 12.
12? Okay.
So lap 128.
I'm going to go 16.
You think 16? Okay.
I'm going to go 16. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about 16. Almost at 17. I don't want to get too far away from you, though. That's strategic. I'm going to keep track of this. Don't worry.
All right, so you're saying lap 16. I'm going to Price is Right this, and I'm going to say 15 laps. I've changed my mind.
Oh,
15 laps. Price is Right strategy out here.
I don't think you've watched Price is Right. I don't think that's how that works. I think you'd go 17.
Oh, shoot, you can't go over in Price is Right. Oh, no.
You might as well just say 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 1 lap here.
All right. 1 or 16. We're about to find out as the pace car pulls off the Indianapolis Motor Speedway back onto the pit lane, and Presley Sora gets back on the gas.
I haven't watched since, what's his name, stopped hosting it, but right now, Presley Sora out in front, Aaron Roos sitting in second, Steven Sims sitting in third right now. He's right behind Aaron Roos, and they've got quite a gap to Presley Sora up ahead, but they are going to overcome that gap very quickly here with a great run down the backstretch. Let's see what they're able to do.
Coming down the back straightaway, side by side for second place. Roofs to the outside. Well, Steven Sims, you can't quite call that out side by side yet because they got back down to the bottom. He's going to get a big run through turn number 4.
Through turn 4, it's side by side for second, which is what Presley Sora wants to see. Aaron Roof seems to have a bit of a run going on the outside, but here comes Brandon Jackson in the pink and something machine. Manages to get right back up there with a great run. He was about 2 or 3 tenths back, but he's now right on that corner. Take a ride along with Brandon though here, and keep an eye on him. Watch what he sees in this battle ahead of him. He jumps up to the outside. Now he's going to try and make a run for the lead.
Oh no, they're going to get behind him. Brandon Jackson, and this is 4 cars going straight into the fence. One of them straight up into the air was Silvio Sanchez. What a mess.
One lap later, they do end up wrecking.
Oh, well, look at that.
The price wasn't right, though, for the 99 of Jackson. Wow, he takes a lot of damage there. Oh, who was that got hit and sent to space? That's the 47 of Sanchez, like you mentioned earlier. Let's take a ride along with Sanchez, though. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they're slicing and dicing for the lead. I think Brandon just came down a little bit earlier than Steven Sims was anticipating. Does a nice little wheelie there and then gets hit from the side. Wow, that's a 10 out of 10 landing.
Yeah, that was a. I mean, we've seen a couple of big wrecks today. This one, I think, is probably the most significant. It takes out so many of the front runners.
It really does. And how many of them had fast repairs and how many of them didn't? We're going to find out the answer to that soon. But the driver in first, Aaron Roofs. He was in the lead when that caution came out. He's going to lead the way on this restart. Presley Sora has always managed to find a way around, though. Kobe Moore, now up to fourth place. That's a great run for him now. He took advantage of that caution. He's up to fourth. Nick DeGroot up to seventh. A lot of drivers working their way through the field. Howard Wendell. Man, some great runs for a lot of these drivers.
See if anyone takes a pit stop here. They only made it one lap, but it looks like Adrian Pazos, yeah, he's got a lot of damage on that 86 car. He has to come to the pits, and we'll see if he has a fast repair left. Same with Covey Moore. Same with Nick DeGroot, Antonio Grapelia, Yari Brupaker, and Andrew Bedrosian.
Those drivers all head down pit road. It looks like the top 6 have stayed out. Howard Wendell. No, Pezos came in, so the top 5 now have decided to stay out on track here and test their luck on some very slightly older tires.
I'm watching. Oh, who is that getting turned in their stall? Is that Brupaker again? It is. Only that wasn't. Let's go back and take a look at Yari Brupaker's pit stop. Well, he had to tow it. He came into the. Yeah, this is Yari Brupaker in the pit road. We saw him loop it coming out of the pit stall. What happened here? Did he try to go to the garage?
Taking a look at the replay, he comes down pit road, a little bit shaky getting in, manages to keep it all going. They have a pit road speed limiter in these cars, so he just needs to go and steer himself into the box. But he's sort of all over the place, weaving back and forth a little bit. Misses his box maybe, and then decides, oh, here it is. And then what in the world? I don't even know. Looking to go down to the garage,
looks like he was
maybe?
looks like he was going to Gasoline Alley. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think he needs to head over to get a new front clip after that, but he's taking that thing to the garage. He's back up on top of the pagoda. It's eating a sandwich. I think that's what we're doing. But what we're doing is taking a quick break here, and we will be back here shortly when they're ready to go green flag racing again. Aaron Roofs leads the way. He dives it down to the pit road wall, then back up to the outside line. He's finally gotten the lead over Presley Sora. Let's see what he can do with it. If he'll be able to hang on, and if that 96 machine is going to be able to get back out front where he's been most of the day. Right now, Sora is going to be side by side. Can he make the outside work when nobody else has been able to today? It's sure looking like it, but Aaron Roofs is holding on to that inside line. Sora is not clear going into turn 3. Aaron Roofs holds on to the bottom, and here comes Felipe in the 55.
Yeah, watch out for Philippe Kursabeek right behind him. And Kursabeek's got company from Jacob Ochmansky, too. Two drivers that have been in an alternate pit strategy. Their strategy's been to sit in the back and avoid the wrecks. That's exactly what they've done. Now they're fighting for the lead as Sora goes to the top of the board. A little bit of contact between them.
A little bit of contact between them. I think Jacob Ochmansky might have gotten on Aaron Roof's nerves a little bit there. He dove it all the way down to the bottom and was just about scraping the pit road wall. Aaron Roofs lost the lead because he couldn't get down to the bottom there. The move was blocked by Jacob Ochmansky, and now he's going to have to fight on the outside around Presley Sora. Presley Sora has been two things today, fast and lucky. Other people have seemed to catch really bad breaks when he's been nearby, no fault of his own. But, man, he's just gotten very lucky. Now, Aaron Roofs works his way to the bottom, though. He's painting that inside line. He's got the run here going into turn 1. Give the lead to Aaron Roofs by 0.06 of a second that last lap around. Let's see if he's able to hold on to it with Presley Sora on his outside.
And the only driver out there not giving it to him right now is Presley Sora. He is, like you said, he's being stuck on the outside for the first time this entire race. This is unfamiliar territory for the number 96 car of Presley Sora. He's going to try to come down and pinch off the number 26. He can't quite do it. Maybe he can duck back in line here in turn 4 and get a slipstream. Maybe he'll have a route to the inside. He's going to take a peek. Watch out, there's a wall down there.
Wow, very, very close call. Presley Sora now falling back. That was extremely close. He's back to third place now, though.
Yeah, that was definitely a bold move. He knew that that was probably the only way he was going to get that lead back. He wanted it that badly. Now, what can Philippe Kursabeek do? He has not battled up here yet for the lead until now, but now that McLaren number 55 car is coming fast.
It certainly is. It's just a car length away from Aaron Roofs. Let's see if Presley Sora is able to recoup and get back out there in front. He's in 4th place right now. I don't think he's done with this race at all. Man, here comes Presley Sora up on the outside, making a pass. Very, very close. Side by side with the lead as well. Presley Sora touched tires with Howard Wendell, and they managed to make it work.
Howard Wendell, a driver we saw fast last night. He lights contact behind him, and look at that. It's Presley Sora involved in this one. Dragging a cone. Trying to get rid of that. We're about to jump to the replay. Unbelievable. Presley Sora finally involved in on the outside, following Kursabeek. And you're going to see him get shoved up into here, I believe. That was Howard Wendell on the bottom. Thought he was clear. He wasn't.
He was not indeed. Presley Sora. Man, all that luck just went away for him. Wrong place, wrong time, but he does have that fast repair and you gotta hope at this point he didn't accidentally use it early on one of the pit stops. It's very, very easy to do. You have to manually uncheck it. But let's take a look with Wendell here at what happened.
Yeah, Wendell was, this is kind of interesting. He was following the leader of the race, Aaron Roofs. Kursabeek was pretty far to his outside. He just came up into him.
Very unfortunate to see. But I believe Presley Sora does have that fast repair unless it was accidentally used, but we'll see.
And Howard Wendell had towed to the pits, and actually, he's just towed to the garage. He's done with his race today. More and more cars getting taken out of this Indianapolis 500. Presley Sora, I can report he did indeed have that fast repair left. He's just come out of the pits, and his car looking good as new. The only problem, he's going to be further back in the field than he has been all race long.
He absolutely is going to be far back. But if anyone can work their way up through this field, I think it's Presley Sora. Now we'll see if he's able to work his way up. He's got plenty of time to do it. Right now, 200 laps. We're 127, going to be 128 laps into the event. He's got the time. Let's see if he's got the car to do it.
Now this is interesting. Sora actually not having to pit here. I think he came into the pits. There you see him just out of the corner of the screen go by. He might have come in when the pits were closed, which means he might get a penalty to start at the rear anyway.
I believe that was the case. I believe pit road was closed when he entered.
So our leader are two drivers that stayed out. Silvio Roberto Sanchez and Adrian Pazos.
Presley Sora is falling to the back of the field. I think he did enter a closed pit like you mentioned earlier, so he's going to restart at the tail end of the lead lap cars here, so that will put him back around 11th place for this restart.
Drivers on track. Following that iRacing Mustang pace car. We're down to trying to see how many drivers we actually have left in this race. I'm seeing 11 on the lead lap. I believe that's it. I think we've got 11 cars left. I'm not seeing anyone multiple laps down that is still contending for this win. We started with 27. We kept a good amount for a good portion of this race thanks to that fast repair. I believe, Jeff, that everyone has used their fast repair now that we see Presley have to use his. I'd be surprised if someone's been able to sneak through this entire race without having to check that box. But down to 11 cars, this might dwindle down even faster now.
It absolutely might, but we will have to see here. Getting ready to finish off this event now. When you're out of fast repairs in these cars, typically what happens is when you take significant damage, you're flat out told too much damage, we're done with this race. We'll have to see how many cars are going to end up finishing this run here, though. Very, very intense racing.
We've also got word from another good guy over at GSRC, our good friend Adam Lindgren, who's kind of been watching behind the scenes today. He's been counting cautions. We're up to 12 now. That's the dozen. Maybe we'll have a baker's dozen here in Indiana. But, man, I don't know. That's quite a few cautions, to be honest, that we've seen these drivers just all fighting. Remember, there is a cash payout. Can't blame them at times. But, man, this going to be crazy to see how this winds up.
It absolutely is. 12 cautions so far. The same numbers there are months in a year, hours in the face of an analog clock. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. A gross is 12 dozens, so a dozen dozens. There are 12 signs in the zodiac. Jacob had 12 sons in the Bible. Jesus had 12 disciples. 12 tribes were started after Moses led his people out of Egypt. And the number 12 in Roman numerals is XII. Some interesting facts about the number 12. Some interesting facts about the number 12 since we've had 12 cautions. I'll tell you some interesting facts about the number 13 if there's another caution.
You know, all those facts about the number 12, and you didn't mention Will Power in IndyCar.
I am using thefactsite.com and their article called 21 Facts About the Number 12.
You have been discredited. I thought that was coming straight from your brain.
No. Did you know that 12 men have walked on the Earth's moon, however, and that there are 12 stars on the flag of Europe?
I don't know if that's correct. But you know what? Yeah, it's intriguing. I'd like to talk to thank God the pace lights are out, Jeff, because it looks like we're going back to racing.
We're getting ready to go back green here. Just keep in mind, though, that D12 is a rap group also known as the Dirty Dozen.
Good.
Very good. And there are 12 cars. Oh, no, there's not. There are 12 cars that are all within 3 laps of the leader.
One's a little more of a stretch, but at least it didn't come from the website.
Well, if there is another caution, I won't need to go to their next article, 21 facts about the number 13.
Oh boy. Oh boy. You mentioned the number 12, but in terms of fast repairs, these drivers have only gotten one. And that's, I'm pretty sure, down to 0 for a good chunk of them. Looks like we're about to go back to green as the pace car is about to pull out. It's Silvio Roberto Sanchez leading the way now with Adrian Pazos behind. Aaron Roof's the first one on fresh tires as we get back racing.
Getting back racing, Silvio with a great jump out front, dives it down to the pit road wall on the inside, then back up to the outside wall. Entering turn 1, he's got a decent lead over everybody else, but that will quickly shrink over on the backstretch here when everyone else gets a draft to catch up to him. Let's see if anyone's got anything. Keep one of your eyes, though, over on Presley Sora. He came down, he topped off on fuel since he was restarting at the back anyways. He's made one pass already, looking to make another on Andrew Bedrosian. And now Presley Sora has cracked the top 10. He's someone to keep your eye on here if he can race his way up to the front.
Yeah, it definitely is. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He's way back in 10th place right now. You know, and he's got that fast repair. He's used that. He's already getting around Andrew Bedrosian, but back up front for the lead. It's Silvio Sanchez on the bottom of Adrian Pazos there to the outside. Oh, very close with almost making contact there with the driver behind. How about Aaron Roofs, who's been launched out front, though? He holds this lead down the backstretch.
He does hold the lead, but that's Pazos up on the outside trying to make something happen. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. They're side by side entering turn 3. Dead even heat. Now Pazos slides on in behind Aaron Roofs. Tries to get a run going on the outside. Nothing there. Silvio Sanchez now rolling the inside. He might be able to make a run on second place here because that's his next target. But look in front. Aaron Roofs doing everything he can to break up this draft here and not give anyone behind him a tow.
Lots of slicing and dicing back through the field. Aaron Roofs is loving that in his rearview mirror as long as it stays there. He doesn't want to see that out his windshield. That means he would have lost this lead. And right now he's being contended heavily by Adrian Pazos around the outside. He's going to have a little bit of a run behind him from Silvio Sanchez. Philippe Kursabeek has also gotten his way back here along with Brandon Jackson back in 5th.
A battle for 5th, but right now a battle for 2nd. Side by side, Adrian Pazos stuck up on the outside. Doesn't make it work. Here comes Silvio Sanchez on the bottom. Aaron Roos has to yield the low line. Now Silvio is leading the way around here. He's cleared himself of Aaron Roos. Now he's in the lead. Silvio Sanchez in the 47 machine leads lap 133.
We were wondering about Presley Sora making his way back up to the field. He might still be down on power. He's actually fallen back to 11th place. Don't have to go there as we keep our eyes up front because we're 3 wide. Look at this for the lead into turn number 3.
Back up front, some daring moves up here, but right now that lead is a 2-car fight between Silvio Sanchez and Aaron Roofs. They've sort of pulled away from the cars behind them. That won't last long, and Aaron Roofs needs to make this outside line work if he wants to get around Silvio Sanchez. But I think we're going to see him make a move to the inside, or he's going to need to make a move to the inside if he wants to lead.
He's going to jump to the outside this time. What do the cars behind him do? Oh, they're all going to shuffle. They're going to look to maybe even go 3 wide. Look at this big run from Kursabeek and Brandon Jackson to the inside. Side by side for the lead once again through turns 3 and 4. This time it's Silvio Roberto Sanchez holding steady down low, putting those left side tires right on that white line and getting a launch onto the front straightaway. I'm sure he'd love to come all the way up to the track and get to the outside, but as they cross the yard of bricks, they're going to be working lap number 136 with that 47 car out in front.
The 47 still leads the way here. Aaron Roofs isn't making it easy on him, though. Getting right up to that back bumper, then jumping to the outside. Now, Einstein's definition of insanity was trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I think Aaron Roofs needs to make a move to the inside and try and get below that 47 of Silvio Sanchez if he wants to lead here, because the outside line hasn't worked at all today, and we're 136 laps in.
Silvio Sanchez just loving that clean air. We saw that so much with Presley Sora. You know, you see the nose ahead go in Aaron Roofs' favor on the straightaway, but it shuffles back. It falters back to the 47.
The 47 still out front. You need the inside line here, and I think Presley Sora knows that well. Though he's struggling back there now, still back there in 11th. Man, 1.854 seconds off the leaders here. That spells trouble for the 96. I think something might be wrong with that car.
Certainly could be. Interested to see the side-by-side that time on the front straightaway was with Kursabeek and Roofs. Kursabeek looking awfully fast now. He might have a little bit of a route down the inside.
He does. He's making that inside line work. Let's see if he's able to continue that momentum he's got. Aaron Roof slides into third, now looks back up to the outside. Brandon Jackson follows along, but he's going to get back down to the bottom here. Going to try and seal away third, but Kursabeek gets very, very tight. A lot of understeer for that car. He's going to slip all the way back to fourth, fifth, maybe more here, as now keep an eye on Brandon Jackson as he's up to third, but Aaron Roofs in second. Silvio Sanchez still leading the way.
Sanchez leading the way, but it's not all without a fight from Aaron Roofs. Still pushing hard on the outside. Gonna tuck back down in line. You know, he gets that little bit of a slipstream through turn number 2 that time. You know, they're going to have to come up with something else. We've seen this for all 139 laps. It hasn't worked. Whoever's down there leading, whoever's down there on the inside line has kept that position. They've got to come up with another game plan here.
You're exactly right. You need a little bit more here if you want to make something happen. Silvio Sanchez, though, he understands that, and he's just cruising on that bottom, holding on to it, not giving a run to Aaron Roofs, and now Roofs up on the outside. I don't think he's going to be clear going into turn 1.
Don't think he's going to have it. I'd watch out for Brandon Jackson right behind. He looks like he might want to get underneath Roofs. He's going to take a peek there. He's going to get a run, but he's going to get boxed in. Look at this. We haven't seen Adrian Pazos in a while, but he's going to join the party, and he's going to make it a 3-wide party as well. That's going to hurt him big time, it looks like.
It is. That's going to kill the momentum of all the other cars, and now Silvio Sanchez will roll away again. He's got about 10 car lengths over Aaron Roofs. Man, he's doing a great job, and I think he's hoping for a long green flag run here, but we got Larry Mack up in the booth. Let's see, Larry, what can we expect? When can we expect to see another caution?
Well, guys, they've been racing around this track for about 11 laps now, and this is actually the longest run that they've had in a while. It's been about 6 to 7 laps average between cautions, so this is the longest run we've had. And you hear that paper crickling in the background? That's the sign of my notes going out the window. I think these guys are about to prove us wrong. This might be a long green flag run.
Thank you, Larry Mack, for the mid-race update. I'm very sorry about your notebook, but feel free to stick around and call out if you so wish here. But yeah, a strong battle going on for the lead here, but a caution here. What do you expect these drivers to do should a caution come out in the next few laps?
I mean, it's definitely, you're going to have to come in and pit. I mean, your tires are going to be so wasted at this point. It's just, you've been out there for longer than you've been on the rest of these green flag runs. These guys are going to have to come in and pit. You can notice them starting to string out single file, except for the lead here, which is still going back and forth. But these guys are going to have to start feeling the push of those front tires starting to go away.
They certainly are. And Larry Mack, for the conclusive finale here, what is the best racing movie ever made?
Talladega Nights. What other question is there? What other answer is there to that question?
Okay. And final question. If you had to choose between the live-action version of Speed Racer and Herbie Fully Loaded starring Lindsay Lohan, which would you choose?
Herbie Fully Loaded. I just can't get enough of that
Thank you, Larry.
bug.
Larry, get out of this booth. Unbelievable. This is why you're calling races and not calling shots from the box anymore, because of things like that. You've lost your touch.
Hey, I won a lot of races, but that old Herbie.
Well, folks, there you have it. Larry McReynolds is up in here. His notebook has fallen off the pagoda, been thrown off, because now we have a long green flag run. They're still battling side by side for the lead. Aaron Roofs, though, trying to make the outside work, trying to turn water into wine. It's just not working out for him, though. Really not much speed up there, not enough to get around Silvio Sanchez. Maybe he'll make a run to the bottom, but now he looks up to the outside again.
All these drivers trying to get a run on him continuously. Man, Antonio Grappiglia, I'm wondering if his car is not handling right, because he is really struggling back there in third place as we were watching, as we had Larry Mack get to the box here for us, get to the booth here for us, I should say. Yeah, Grappiglia was able to make his way up to third place and really kind of stalled out back there in that second lane.
He has, you're absolutely right, and that opens the door for Antonio in the 18 to try and make something work up here. Diving it deep into the corner, he's just cruising on the bottom, trying to get a run going. Adrian Pezos, though, is now riding the outside, trying to catch a draft off Aaron Roofs. Looks like he's got it. He's going to slip down into, well, third place. But no, he's going to lose that run as well, suffering from some understeer. And that car travels right back up the track, opens the door for Philippe to jump in. Kursabeek, excuse me, now in 5th place, looking for more.
Kursabeek's going to fall back in line back there in 5th place. It's just incredible that Aaron Roofs has been able to hold the outside this long. Not only, Jeff, has he been burning those tires, he's been saving those tires, he's been burning through fuel, not jumping in behind Silvio Sanchez. He's been flat out this entire time, pretty much.
You're absolutely right. He has. Everybody has been flat out this entire race. There's been a lot of hard racing. Nobody really wants to give any position to anybody. Nobody's cutting anybody any breaks, it seems like. So, oh my goodness! Wow, Silvio Sanchez dives it down to pit road. I think he was speeding on entry. Let's find out. He locked up those tires. But wow. Let's take a replay of that.
Well, Jeff, it doesn't matter if he was speeding or not. He pounded that inside wall. That is an unfortunate deal. I think he might have actually gotten touched by Aaron Roofs behind him.
I don't think Aaron Roofs knew he was pitting.
No, I don't think so either. We certainly didn't. It was a surprise to us. Yeah, he's got suspension all damaged there. He tried to slam on the brakes, but man, that was a tough break for him.
All right, we're going to try one more time to get this replay here for you. You see him coming off turn 4 now. Man, just comes down, a touch in the back, locks up the tires though, shifts it all the way down to first. Wheel all the way to the right, but it doesn't matter. When you lock those tires up, it's already too late and you're along for the ride. You see a lot of front left damage to that car. That's going to be very, very damaging in the long run here.
And Jeff, even though that Silvio Sanchez is probably out, the message has been sent to Aaron Roofs, our leader, and the rest of the drivers. Now might be the time to pit. They've got just over 50 laps to go. They might be able to split this halfway, maybe at 175. That would be about enough to take them to the end. They're definitely going to need about 2 more stops at this point, though.
They are. Larry McReynolds, what's the strategy going forward here? Do they pit now and then one more time later on? Do they push this run a little bit further here? And when they're making that green flag stop, what's the best way to do it? Do you play it extra safe so you don't spin out like we just saw, or do you try and gain as much speed and time as you possibly can with a fast entry to pit road?
You're definitely going to need to maximize entry and exit here, and it's really going to depend on how much fuel you've been using for Roofs and Grappiglia up in front. They're going to really need to come in probably earlier than the rest of these guys because they've been wasting so much fuel, whereas the guys in the back might be able to go longer. And remember, a shorter stop equals less time on pit road, and that means more time going 200 miles an hour.
And that's exactly what you need. Courtesy of Larry Mack. Going faster in the pits means you can go faster sooner. Some very wise words right there. Now, though, we are getting ready. 50 laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're expecting pit stops soon. Maybe Presley Sora can make something happen, but right now he's stuck all the way back in 8th. He was dominant in the beginning, but not so much now, as right now Aaron Roofs slides back to 2nd. He's going to look to the inside for the lead here. Antonio in the 18 did not protect the inside like we were expecting. Opens the door for Aaron Roofs to get himself clear, and now I expect we're going to see Aaron Roofs protect the bottom in that 26 car.
As the fuel burns off, so do the tires. Grapelia was not able to hold on the outside there. He had to let Aaron Roofs get back to the lead. Now Grapelia is going to lead him and Philippe Kursabeek down low into turn 3. Kursabeek's going to swoop back up top, get an even bigger slipstream here, try to late apex this corner. None of our leaders have pit yet. Are we going to see anyone come in now?
We will have to see who decides to jump down pit road. If anybody looks like they're all staying out, I'm wondering if Silvio Sanchez maybe, I don't know if he had not pitted and was on a different cycle than everybody else, but he's still in this race, still looking to try and gain some position here, waiting for that car to be repaired.
Grapelia really under fire. Look at that huge run from Roofs, and he's going to let Roofs have the inside as well. That's one thing I've noticed about Grapelia. He's not driven as hard as we've seen drivers like Presley Sora drive early in this race. He's not adamant about holding that bottom. He's going to let him get through. He's okay with the leapfrog game, and look at this. It's letting them pull away.
It is for the first time we're seeing two leaders sort of start to pull away from the field, and they're just playing a little bit of leapfrog here. Maybe they're in communication saying, hey, if we do this, we got a chance to pull away. It's working so far. They've got about 0.6 seconds, but Aaron Roofs now, the side-by-side for the lead. He's going to hold on to it on the outside. And there goes that big lead they had built up.
Aaron Roofs down the back stretch. He's got no drafting help here. The only help that he's giving is behind him, to 4 cars behind him, all in a line, a straight line of cars coming through turn 3 and 4 now. What kind of slingshot are they going to be able to muster up here on the front straightaway? They're not going to be able to get there. Either way, Roofs feels threatened. He's going to duck down to the bottom to try to snap that draft.
I think the problem that Roofs is having right now is an issue he's creating himself. If you ride along with him down the backstretch, you'll see that he's shifting into 6th gear. 6th gear in these cars is like an overdrive. You use it for a little more power to slingshot around somebody, but these cars are pretty much built to go down the straightaway in 5th gear, carrying so much speed. It's okay if you're on the chip there at about 12,000 RPM. Shifting into 6th, it ultimately costs you time and speed. I think that's hurting Aaron Roofs in the long run, but he doesn't even realize it.
Well, he might be doing that strategically too. He might be trying to save fuel because he doesn't have anyone to help draft him in the front. He has no one to duck in line with, and he can't just get off the gas. That might be his small way of saving fuel right now. Of course, everyone behind him, they're having to shift into 6th, and they maybe even get off the gas. But, you know, Roof's just looking for every little slight advantage that he's able to get out there.
Maybe so. We'll have to see as he shifts up into 6th once again here, going it down the backstretch and into turn 3. Laser precision for him, but now he has to give that inside line up. That's Kursabeek right there on the inside trying to make a pass. We'll see what he's got here going down the front stretch.
And a pitter behind him. It's Adrian Pazos in the 86. He gets into pit lane cleanly as they continue to race for the lead.
I think the floodgates have opened now. We're going to see some other drivers come down pit road, and that will leave them needing just one more pit stop here. Man, this is very, very close, and it's very tense. If you get stuck up on the outside when you need to come down and pit and you can't make it one more lap around, it can throw away your entire day here. We've been here for just over 3 hours now. You don't want to throw it away because you mistimed it and tried to go one lap too many on a pit cycle.
I can let you know, too, Pazos did not have a great pit stop. It's about 9.5 seconds, actually, it looks like. Pretty slow, just because it took him forever to get stopped in his stall cleanly. He had those old worn tires out. He didn't want to slide through the stall. He was conservative. That might cost him later.
And guys, another thing that might cost him is the fact that he came in by himself. He doesn't have a draft partner to be able to slingshot up towards the rest of the field with. And without that extra draft, he's going to be losing about 10 miles an hour on the straights. So it's something that these drivers have to think about when they decide to pit.
And Aaron Roofs, he's got to think about that because he's coming in the pits right now. He's another one who gets it. Man, he gets that wound down to 60 miles an hour perfectly.
Aaron Roofs now down on pit road. Had a great entry now, but let's see how it all pans out afterwards. We could see these cars break apart here. We lose this whole big pack that we've seen the entire race because now we're having green flag pit stops. If a driver's out there by themselves, they're going to be a little bit slower, but having a time advantage could help. Now it's just a very, very tense battle up here for the lead. Kursabeek, excuse me, is now in front, but let's see if he comes down pit road anytime soon. There goes the 18 down pit road. There goes the 55 as well. They both pit together and get it wound down just in time.
Yeah, like you said, the floodgates beginning to open. I think you're absolutely right. That's going to allow Covey Moore back to the lead.
Kobe Moore in front. Brandon Jackson still looking to make something happen here. I expect to see them down pit road here in just a couple laps, if not this lap here. What do you think, Larry Mack?
Well, I'm more concerned about the fact that Roos is still on pit lane. He's been in his
Yeah.
box for about 40 seconds. We're taking a look at Antonio and Felipe getting back out there, but Roof's just now rolling. He's going to be a
Wow.
lap down from these guys.
48-second stop for Aaron Roofs. That was that's going to be race ending for him.
Oh, he
Brandon
was speeding
Jackson's in. Oh, speeding penalty.
about 20 miles an hour over. He came in too hot. Oh, very unfortunate to see.
Nick DeGroot, in the meantime, has taken the lead away from Covey Moore. DeGroot and Moore stay out. Look who's back in third. Presley Sora back in the mix. He has not come into the pits yet either.
Sora back out front. We saw him make an additional pit stop there right before the last green flag restart. He topped off on fuel, and right now, though, that could be his saving grace as he's out there running in a great position, sitting in second behind Nick DeGroot.
I'll tell you who I think is looking the best right now is Brandon Jackson. He had a pretty good stop compared to everyone else. He's going to come out in front of Adrian Pazos and Philippe Kursabeek, but Kursabeek and Pazos are drafting with each other. They might be able to catch him. That might cycle through to be the overall lead in this race.
Let's take a look on with Kursabeek here as he is still in a race that could cycle out to be the lead. Nick DeGroot comes down pit road. That puts Presley Sora up to the lead. Man, he still has to make a pit stop, though, and that's going to be coming soon. Just under 40 laps left in this event. 39 laps to go.
And you saw on screen, they flew. Pazos and Kursabeek flew around Brandon Jackson. Now that car that they just got around is Covey Moore, who's coming out of the pit lane. Yes, this is going to be the battle for the lead. Once Sora comes into the pits, DeGroot is sitting there right now. He's just about to get ready to go.
All different strategies playing out all different ways. We'll see who was fast on pit road and who might not have been. Here comes Presley Sora down pit road right now, though. He manages to get it slowed down in time. Yes, he does. Actually had a very conservative entry. Didn't want to follow the path of Aaron Roofs to go 2 laps down when he was actually he's going to circle around and be 1 lap down, I believe. But didn't want to take a penalty there when coming down pit road. That's very unfortunate for the 26, though.
Good job by Nick DeGroot as well. He's that bright yellow car that attaches himself to the back of this now 5-car battle for the lead that Adrian Pazos leads. We'll see where Presley Sora is going to come out in relation. Sora just dropped off the jacks. He's going to be away and rolling in that 96 machine down the front straightaway and into turn 1 here at Indianapolis. And there they go around him.
There they all go, making the pass right here. So that will put the leader to be, I believe that's Philippe Kursabeek. Now he's in front, but he's under fire from Brandon Jackson, who's looking low. Adrian Pazos, though, still out front of both of those, excuse me. That is your battle for the lead right here. This train is the one that is out front.
Yeah, how about Adrian Pazos to get out front? He's got Kursabeek behind him. And he's got Brandon Jackson almost making it 3 wide. All 3 of these drivers have really just tried to take it easy all day long. That strategy has paid off.
It certainly has. A lot of different drivers working on a lot of different strategies here. And now it's all starting to come together for these drivers. 1 more pit stop is all that's needed here. Let's see what they're able to do over the course of this final run here at Indianapolis.
One more pit stop probably needed. Yeah, it's going to be a stretch if they think they can make it on one tank. Maybe, if anyone, Presley Sora, but he's all by himself. I don't think that's going to happen. One more caution might be able to save him, but these drivers, they're certainly not going to want a caution. They want to keep this thing green as we see Kursapeak peek down into the lead.
Kursapeak looking for the lead now, but it's going to be close. He's got the inside line which has the advantage, excuse me. But Bezos makes the outside work right there, and he's cleared himself at the 55. There goes Brandon Jackson down to the bottom. Throws that car low, and now he's side by side in the battle for second.
Brandon Jackson, we've seen him get down on those curbs before. He had a great save early in this thing. Comes right up. Man, him and Kursapeak, you couldn't even put a piece of paper between them. As close as they were there on the front straightaway. Back down into turn number 1. These 6 cars. Notice I mentioned 6 cars get strung in a line because at the very tail end of this pack is Presley Sora. Don't count him out as dominant as we saw him early in this race.
You're absolutely right. You can't really count anybody out at this point, and a caution would really throw a wrench into the mix here. Man, that would really, really mess things up. So we'll see if we have one. But right now, it's all clean and all good up front. Socially distant in all those cars, and that is a thing of the past. As right now, they're 3 wide for the lead.
They are indeed. Pazos on the outside. He almost came down into Brandon Jackson. That was a close call there between the 86 and the 99. Meanwhile, further back, we had a pass for 4th and 5th. We don't have to go back there, but Presley Sora, he's flying up through the field. There he is down low. He's jumped from 6th up to 4th, and now he's looking around to the inside of Kursapeak. Presley Sora back in the action.
I don't know what changed for him that got him back in contention here, but man, that car is all of a sudden back on rails. He's going to make a run here on Brandon Jackson pretty soon in the next couple laps, I'm sure. He's looking for that lead. Kursapeak goes all the way to the bottom, actually bumps the pit road wall. Presley Sora says, all right, if you're that desperate for the spot, you can have it. I'll just pass you back in a minute.
Yeah, Presley Sora looked to block. He can't block in an Indy car. That would have turned out very badly for both him and Kursapeak if he had continued to make that move. Either way, he's going to think better of it. Kursapeak's going to be able to get by for now. They're side by side, just like the leaders are in front of him, Pazos and Jackson.
Managing to make it work right now. Everyone's keeping it clean. Presley Sora now looking to the inside. Millie go to the middle, make it 3 wide. No, we'll go to the bottom and make it 3 wide there. Presley Sora to the bottom. That's going to push Brandon Jackson up the track a little bit. Presley Sora holds on, makes a little bit of contact. Everybody holds on to it, though. Some fantastic driving.
Oh, but damage to the front wing of Brandon Jackson. Presley Sora got into the 99. It looked like he made a bold move down to the bottom of the curb. He touched that curb just a little bit, and now that might take Brandon Jackson out of contention. Meanwhile, Sora looking back for this race lead. Look at him. He gets around Adrian Pazos there up front.
He's got the run. Now he's got the lead. Presley Sora back in first place after losing it for a while there. Running back around 10th, 9th place. But now that battle is not over. The 86 down to the bottom of the 96. They're still fighting like cats and dogs to try and see who will win this race. 31 laps to go.
Yeah, I think they're going to need one more stop. See if Sora is going to be able to stretch out that green flag run any longer. That's assuming we stay green flag. These guys are shuffling back and forth so dramatically right now that we might not be able to see them stay green. Look at Sora go back down low. This is what elbows out racing looks like in an Indy car at 230 miles an hour.
230 miles an hour, and we still don't know who the fastest car is out here. Presley Sora holding on to that inside line. I think we're going to see that be the trend here. I think he's going to hold on to that inside line the entire time, just like we saw before. It's a familiar sight. Presley Sora runs to the bottom and doesn't let anyone by.
Adrian Pazos is going to have to fight harder than anyone in this race has been asked to fight so far. He's stuck on the outside of of Presley Sora, like so many drivers have been today. 30 laps to go, coming to 29 to go. Can anyone give anything to that number 96 car of Presley Sora up front? He just seems so dominant right now, staying up there. Look at Pazos to the outside. Is he going to be able to chop the nose off? slam the door. No, he's going to be getting in line because Sora's going to let him slide in.
Man, can you believe it? Presley Sora let him slide in. Let's see what he's got planned, though, here. He's got something up his sleeve that 96 does, and he's going to try and win this race.
He's going to come back at it to the inside. Pazos better watch out. That train of 3 cars behind him, DeGroot, Moore, and Kursabeek, they are charging as well. Don't count any of those 3 drivers out. How about Philippe Kursabeek? He's getting a great view of this as we ride on board with him. He's going to drop down to the bottom, actually.
Goes to the bottom, 3 wide for the lead. Presley Sora backs out of it. He was the meat in the sandwich there. Now he's going to get another run going on the bottom here. Kursabeek has been very bold in his runs to the bottom. He's not afraid to push the limit here. Not really make too many friends by jumping down to the bottom there and forcing his nose in. But right now it's working out well for him. Here comes Presley Sora with a run on the bottom going into turn 3.
Pazos down. He's got those left side wheels underneath that white line. He's riding that inside of the track beautifully right now. How about Kursabeek holding on strong to the outside of Presley Sora?
Holding on, but barely. I don't think that outside line's going to work too well, especially when the 96 is involved on the bottom. He's been doing a fantastic job down there all day. Now he's going to set his sights there on the 86 of Pezos, doing everything he can to get a run going down the backstretch here and maybe going into turn 3. We'll see what he's got, but I think that move is going to come down the front stretch. Maybe not. He's not quite got the run yet. But down the front stretch, we could see Sora make something happen. There it is. Pezos gets extremely tight in the corner. That puts Sora all the way down to the bottom. Going to try and get a run going here, but not quite enough. He's kind of there on the inside, but let's see. Yes, going into turn 1, Sora will have the run.
He's got it for now. He hasn't been able to hold that inside nearly as well as he has the first half of this race. But a beautiful move for Sora. Once again, we've seen so many moves from him today. He's going to hold that lead down the back straightaway as well. He's going to hold it through 3 and 4. You got to wonder, Jeff, now that we're down to 25 laps to go when they take this, when they come across the line here, how much communication is going on with these drivers? Will we see anyone have to pit by themselves? Will anyone choose to pit now? You're going to be able to make it to the end, but the strategy here, it could be anything. It's a complete crapshoot at this point.
It absolutely is. That's one way to describe it. But right now, a side-by-side battle can be described with one word and one word only, and that is intense. These drivers are so intense. They want this win so badly. They hate to lose more than they like to win a lot of the times here in the Sim Races for Mental Health. We're at 25 laps to go in this event. 500 miles are almost done here. What a fantastic event, though. This racing is phenomenal.
Pazos back to the point. And look at this. Presley Sora is going to get a little bit of tow behind him. He's going to use that to slingshot around him to the front. Maybe slide up in front of Pazos again through turn 2. Indeed, he will. Does a great job of cutting off that momentum. He doesn't want to block him, though. Great job from Sora to get back down to the track and allow that run to naturally formulate there on the outside from Adrian Pazos. You can't count out Philippe Kursabeek. I've said all race long, that number 55 McLaren car back there in 3rd place. He is really looking strong, and he's looking primed to get something done as Pazos is going to drop to the pits.
I think he doesn't think he has enough fuel to make it to the end, and might as well come down now, split the run in half. I think that's his strategy there.
Will anyone answer? Will Presley Sora come in? He was the last of these drivers to come down. How about that Carlos Sainz paint scheme behind him of Philippe Kursabeek? What will he do? He's been getting a lot of fuel saving behind these leaders.
Larry McReynolds, what's going on?
Basically, you're looking at these guys. Pazos decided to come in because he's been running out front with Sora and been fighting side by side. Kursabeek's been able to save fuel, just like Nick has said. So Kursabeek's just going to hang out behind Sora, is my guess, and try and save as much fuel as possible behind this guy. Notice how he's not challenging him down the straight as much. He's definitely going to make Sora think about it, though.
It's all about the strategy here. How much do you trust yourself in the calls that you're making, or the crew chief if you've got one? Presley Sora out here, though, all by himself. The only driver still in this race that has someone calling the shots for them is Brandon Jackson. He's got Shane Friedman up there helping him out. But right now, Brandon is actually a lap down. I don't know if he came down pit road or if he's just been running a lap down. No, he's just been running a lap down. So of these all these lead lap guys, they're making their own strategy calls, calling it for themselves out here. And man, that's a very, very tall order.
It is indeed. How about Kursabeek? I think he's put the afterburners on. He just took a shot at the lead to get to the outside of Sora up front, like we saw on screen. Kursabeek, I think, is ultimately going to come down to when he pits. I think that's going to dictate the rest of the strategies for these front runners.
I believe you are absolutely right. It all depends on who's going to pull the trigger first. We saw Pezos come down pit road. We'll see how that ends up working out for him. Right now, he's 36 seconds back, almost a full lap. He's about 4 seconds ahead of the leaders at the moment. That leaves 6 cars on the lead lap, and they're all, well, 4 of them are all together in this front group. Then you have Antonio Grapiglia in 5th. He's about 6 seconds back of the leader. And then you have Adrian, who's about 37 seconds back and losing ground, so he might end up going a lap down. Once this all cycles out, though, it'll be a completely different story.
Well, it's going to hurt Pazos big time if all these drivers stay out there and draft together, and especially if they come down together. Even if they don't come down all 4 at once, if they come down 2 and 2, they'll keep the draft together, and that's going to put Adrian Pazos behind a big obstacle to get his way back. He's all by himself. He's going a lot slower, and I thought we might see a pitter there, but no, we were just breaking the draft so heavily with Covey Moore and Philippe Kursabeek.
Covey Moore, someone you can't fall asleep on either. He's sitting in 3rd place. Let's take a look along, though. Right now, everyone is watching Presley Sora lead the way around here, just like we saw in the first half of this event.
Don't forget Covey Moore. He's going for the sweep as well. He won the Indy Lights 100 last night.
What a story that would be to win the Freedom 100 in the F3 cars and then come over to the IR18s and win this event here as well. 2 races, 2 days, 600 miles, and coming out the winner at both of them. That'd be amazing. Felipe, though, right now hits pit road. That leaves Presley Sora out front, Covey Moore in 2nd, Nick DeGroot 3rd, and Antonio Grapiglia in 4th. All 4 of them have yet to pit.
We'll see how Kursabeek's stop goes as Presley Sora continues to lead. Just these 2 cars out there, Covey Moore and Nick DeGroot. They've got to be getting close. Presley Sora, he hasn't been saving much fuel on this run, but he also was the last one to come down. He has the most fuel of any of these drivers.
And guys, one of the things I noticed about Moore when we went on board with him was he was staying in 6th gear even through the corners, so he's definitely on some sort of fuel-saving strategy at the moment.
More than likely a fuel-saving strategy for him, but Presley Sora not shifting into 6th. He stays in 5th gear all the way down the front stretch. He's just in cruise control right now, riding that inside line, barely turning the wheel, taking care of those tires. He's just riding right now. He knows exactly what he needs to do. It's really muscle memory at this point to work your way around this racetrack.
Philippe Kursabeek has come back out on track quite a ways ahead of Adrian Pazos. So if that's any indication for these leaders, or for Pazos, is where he's going to cycle through to those leaders, it's not good news. 16 to go up front, though. Sora still leads.
16 laps left in this event here. It's getting down to the final minutes here. 16 times 2.5. That's what? Math. 40 more miles here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I think, if my math is correct.
You got it. You got it.
I did? Okay, good. I would be very disappointed in myself. I'm an engineer, and if I couldn't do 16 times 2.5, GSRC math success right there. Larry McReynolds, what are you thinking here is this strategy for these 3 guys out front? You think they stay out as long as they can?
Yeah, I think that at this point, they've definitely made their bed. They're going to have to stay out as long as they possibly can. I think Sora's going to be the first one you're going to see come in. Moore's been saving fuel. So is DeGroot behind Moore. So I think that those 2 might go a little bit longer, but you'll see Sora as our next pitter is my best guess.
Sure hope there's no team plays for Sora. if Covey Moore and Nick DeGroot come down together, man, that would really ruin the opportunity. Remember, they are teammates back there. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of team play between them.
Absolutely, if not even a little bit of deception even, where you call out over chat, I'm pitting in at X lap, and then you come down a couple laps earlier or something else. Man, that could really mess up Presley Sora's day.
They stay out for now, but that window is getting tighter and tighter. Yeah, so daunting to stay out this long. They really got to have faith in a good pit stop. Are we seeing? No, they're just going to look down low.
Yeah, and Nick, I've been noticing that Pezos and Kursabek have gotten together on track, and they're starting to make time on these guys just a little bit. Just a couple laps ago, it was Pezos who was 37.5 seconds behind, and now they're up to 36.7 seconds behind, so they are gaining time on these guys. The longer they stay out, the more time they're going to lose.
Yeah, I think Kursabek actually dropped back. He knew that they were not going to make up any ground by themselves. Kursabek dropped back so him and Pezos could run together. That was a brilliant move by him strategically. It might just save their bid in this race. And there go the teammates to the pits. Sora's all by himself on track.
Be very careful not to speed here. Looks like neither of them do. Covey Moore and Nick DeGroot, both with fantastic entries. They're side by side going down pit road. Now that leaves Presley Sora all by himself. The only way he can win this race, as it stands, is he either needs to pit right now, or he'll push it and see if he can run the rest of the race with enough fuel. I don't think he has enough, though, so I think he's going to have to come down and pit very, very soon here, and maybe even hope for a caution.
And great pit stops from both Nick DeGroot and Covey Moore. They're both already back rolling, and they've exited pit lane. There's Kursabek and Pazos on the front straightaway. I think they're going to beat them out. Yeah, these teammates, DeGroot and Moore, they're going to beat them out. Pazos will fall in behind them.
I think Philippe had some connection issues, and now he's really far back from Pezos. Oh, yeah, when he lagged out of the session for a couple seconds there, he didn't lose connection completely, but he was invisible. He couldn't see any other cars. He didn't get any of the draft. So now he's in trouble. That is devastating. The worst possible time for that to happen for both the 55 and the 86. Now they're in trouble as the teammates ahead are now working together here. Man, they're going to be strong. They've got about a second over Adrian Pazos.
And we were wondering, Jeff, we saw so many of Presley Sora's Indy Autosport teammates taken out of this race early and through the middle stages of the race. We wondered if that would hurt him later in this event. It certainly has. He's all by himself. He's going to have to come in with less than 10 laps to go now, and I think he might just get swallowed up by DeGroot and Moore.
Yeah, guys, and also Sora's already lost 2 seconds to DeGroot and Moore at this point. Here he comes into the pits. Let's see how good he can do it. Can he hit it without speeding onto the pit road? Looks like he can.
Pazos just said the fastest lap time, too. That's because he had a huge tow to catch up to Covey Moore and Nick DeGroot. They've also got help from lap car Andrew Bedrosian.
I think Presley Sora needs just a splash of fuel. Don't take tires, just a little bit of fuel, enough to get you to the end, and then go. Let's see what he does. Is that the strategy? No, he's going to take tires.
Coming out of turn 4, the leaders. Covey Moore leading Nick DeGroot to the outside. Adrian Pazos behind him. Side by side, and watch them swing around him. If they can get there, it's actually going to be a lot closer than I thought.
Oh, that could have been perfect. That could be the money move for Presley Sora. He's going to be all right, I think.
Sora's going to have the lead for now, but he's still not up to speed. Nick DeGroot's gone all the way down to the bottom of the track. Nick DeGroot needs to lead him and his teammate Covey Moore around Sora here when they catch him, or I think this strategy is going to go out the window for him.
How did Presley Sora do it? He manages to make it work and is leading the way here. Just 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go in this event. Nick DeGroot now making a move to the outside, but Presley Sora is certainly not out of it.
Unbelievable that Presley Sora was able to stick with these guys. Nick DeGroot has taken the lead, but Sora, oh, and he's going to turn! Sora
Oh,
turns
no.
DeGroot into the wall. We stay green.
Oh, no. Just a little bit of contact there, sends DeGroot around. Now Sora slides back to third.
So there are the leaders. Covey Moore leads Adrian Pazos, who's been reeled back in. Presley Sora, like you said, on the outside. But it looks like he might have a little bit of front end damage from that contact.
Maybe so. That was a hard hit to the front bumper there for Presley Sora. Let's see how it impacts the car. He's sitting in third place. Any one of these guys could win it.
Well, if he can stay in that slipstream, I don't think that damage is going to affect him. You can see that Pazos really had to get out of the gas there, way out on the outside. Moore is going to be leading anyway. There you saw they got by Nick DeGroot, damaged and limping back to pit road.
That is a heartbreak there for Nick DeGroot. Was so strong all race, but right down to the end here was just not enough, unfortunately.
They've still got a race out on track, and they're 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway here at IMS. Covey Moore down the inside. Presley Sora is going to have to back out of it. Adrian Pazos really struggling way out on the outside. He's being hung out to dry right now. Things are all clicking on all cylinders for Covey Moore.
Covey Moore now leads the way. Presley Sora behind, coming to 5 laps to go here at the Yard of Bricks. Let's see who can win it. It's pretty much 2 cars in it at this point, battling for the lead. But Pazos at the end. The caution is out! Kursabek spinning and flipping down the front stretch. That changes everything.
What on earth happened with Philippe Kursabek? He was all by himself down the front straightaway and just started to lose it. Something had to have broke. I mean, everything cosmetically looks good, but you know, you can't. Oh my goodness.
I'm a professional announcer, and my job is to talk, and I am left speechless at the moment.
Well, this might just be an anticlimactic finish to this race. I don't know if we're going to get a 1-lap shootout here. I don't believe so. We're on lap 197 here. Let's take a look back at what happened with Presley Sora and Nick DeGroot. We didn't get a chance to see the replay because we did stay green because DeGroot spun down coming into the pits. This was out of turn number 4. Was that out of turn number 2, actually? Yeah, it was actually out of turn number 2. DeGroot had just gotten around him for the lead. Sora with a huge run, just the slightest bit of contact. We saw bump drafting last night and didn't see one today.
Wow. What a crazy ending there. Kursabek has been disqualified from the race here by race control. That was crazy.
Yeah, certainly a dramatic way to end the race for him, and that might just hand the win over to Covey Moore. Presley Sora, a tough break for him. He's going to get stuck behind in 2nd place. Man, that was incredible. We pace under caution for now. Covey Moore. We've come so far. And we were wondering, Jeff, if he was going to be able to get the sweep done. He might.
I think he might. There's a very real opportunity here. Presley Sora in second, Adrian Pezos in third, Crapiglia in fourth, and Brendan Jackson now in fifth place.
Sounds like it might have been a technical difficulty for Kursabeek. Can't speculate at all. Just such a bizarre accident late in this race. We might have some, I'm not sure if race control would put a green-white checkered in this event. Traditionally, of course, there won't be. And yes, there are actually going to be green-white checkers we're hearing now.
Whew, I was getting worried.
So, this is not it. This is not over for Presley Sora. He is damaged. He's down, but not out. Adrian Pazos right behind in third. Hey, Antonio Grapelia. He's on the lead lap back there in fourth place. His car looks pretty good. Brandon Jackson and Andrew Bedrosian all behind. Aaron Roofs is still on the track as well, but I don't think he's going to get that lap back.
Right now, we have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish here in this event. Kobe Moore leads the way, Presley Sora in second, Adrian Pezos in third, Grapiglia in fourth, Brandon Jackson fifth, Andrew Bedrosian in fifth. Excuse me, Brandon Jackson falls to sixth. Aaron Roofs 1 lap down in seventh, and then that's the only. Those are the only cars left in this race. Everyone else is out. 27 cars started this event, and we now have 6 running on the lead lap here at the end of this event. Kobe Moore, though, trying to do everything he can to pull off the sweep and win the Freedom 100 and the Indianapolis 500 here in the Sim Races for Mental Health 2-day event here at Indianapolis.
We're going to get a little bit more than 500 miles. It's going to be the well, I'm not the mathematician, Jeff, but what is it going to be? The Indy 505? Yeah.
You're adding 2 laps to it, 2 times 2.5. Yes, 505.
Bingo.
But you also had the pace laps at the beginning of the event where we had, we'll call that
No.
2. No.
I was right. That's it.
Yeah, the 2 pace laps at the beginning. So
No, there was only 1, but it's hard to tell because they start in the pits. It's not a full 2.5 miles around the track.
The Indianapolis 507.5 here so far.
Sure. We can settle it there. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how this race pans out.
You know what else is interesting is that triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13. We've had 13 cautions here tonight.
Caution.
Yep. There are approximately 13 cycles of the moon each year. There are 13 cards in each suit in a standard deck of playing cards, and the 4 seasons each have 13 weeks. And here I was thinking that they were just a band with Frankie Valli.
Beautiful. And again, you fail to mention an IndyCar related fact. How about the fact that the last time the 13 car was driven in an IndyCar race was at Indianapolis by Danica Patrick? I was there to see it. I saw her wreck. I did not get to meet her that day.
I did meet Danica Patrick once.
I did too, just not at this track.
What was your experience like with her, I must ask?
Well, believe it or not, she was at a granola bar stand. I forget who the company was that was sponsoring her.
Nature Valley. Not Nature Valley. Nature's Bakery.
Nature's Bakery. They handed me an energy bar that I stood in line for about, 5 or 6 minutes. It wasn't too bad. It was at Watkins Glen International for the NASCAR race there. And I took 1 bite of that granola bar, and it looks like we're going back green.
Wait, I think I was at that race. Like, no joke, I think I might have been at that race as well, because I remember that exact same thing. Was that in, 2017?
It could have been.
Oh man, well there we go. We knew each other before we knew each other. There we go. But getting ready to come back to the green flag. Kobe Moore trying not to Danica Patrick himself. He's going to go out and win this race and do the exact opposite of what everyone else is expecting based off what I just said. Trying to avoid a Danica Patrick moment, he's going to try and win the Indianapolis 500.
Kobe Moore, can he hold on? Presley Sora, we got to see what that damage is going to do to him. It's a green-white checkered. If they get back to the white flag, we'll finish it. Checkers or wreckers. He's going to jump to the outside. Watch out for Adrian Pazos behind as well. What does he do? Kobe Moore is going to get hung out to dry on the inside. Can he come back down? What can Presley Sora do on the outside? He's going to have to hold tough there through 3 and 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front stretch, but Sora is going to have to duck back in line to try to get some slipstream help.
Ducks down to the bottom, but that lane is blocked. This way closed too, Ricky Bobby. Defending that inside line is Kobe Moore, and that's exactly what he needs to do. White flag is in the air. Whoever leads this lap is the winner. It could be any one of these three. Kobe Moore defending the bottom. Presley Sora trying to get a run going here.
Kobe Moore is a sitting duck right now. What kind of run can Presley Sora get? He's going to go to the outside. That's not where he's been fastest all night. How about Adrian Pazos behind him? He's at the inside. If anything happens to these front runners, they come through 3 and 4.
Coming through turn 4, Kobe Moore on the bottom, Presley Sora on the outside. Sora's been dominant all day. They're side by side. Up on the outside is Pazos. He's got a great run. Where did he come from? It doesn't matter. He's going to win it. Adrian Pazos wins it with a move to the outside on the straightaway, crosses the yard of bricks first. Kobe Moore in second. Presley Sora comes home third. What a phenomenal finish. Adrian Pazos wins the event.
He's been on the outside all day long. We've been wondering what he's been doing out there. Apparently testing the waters for this late race move. It's going to come down to 3/100ths of a second. What a move. I cannot believe Adrian Pazos got that done.
A phenomenal finish to a phenomenal race. 507.5 miles later, Adrian Pazos comes home the winner here. Comes out on top in the green-white checkered. What a finish. What a run. Kobe Moore so close to pulling off the sweep, but unable to get it done. Presley Sora led most of the event, but he comes home third.
Unreal. Adrian Pazos gonna bring it back down pit road. He's gonna go, he's got a glass of milk waiting for him. Let's look at this once again. Unreal. Coming out of 4. On board with them, a jump to the outside, a late hesitation from Sora. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Let's take a look on board with Sora, though. Get a view from his car. Absolutely phenomenal finish here. I'm still in shock. Looking behind him, you see that car jump to the outside, and then they're 3 wide. They're fighting a little bit further back, but that doesn't matter. The outside line for the first time today here at Indianapolis works, and the lap is led from the outside. The lead is taken, and the win goes to Pazos in the 86. That was a phenomenal event all around. A lot of testing the water here, seeing what worked, what wouldn't. You had to figure out, and like we said, it was a 200+ mile an hour game of chess. Nick, do you have any final thoughts on the event here?
Just unreal. I mean, we always say that the Indy 500, greatest spectacle in racing, and so many series try to replicate it here in iRacing, and it's just a fantastic job to see it over and over again, because everyone unique in their own way. And the Sim Racers for Mental Health Indy 500, presented by People of the Track, I mean, it did not disappoint one bit. Had a couple cautions early, but I mean, you can't ask for much better of a finish in a late race green flag run from so many great drivers in this field.
It absolutely was a fantastic race. Let's take a look at the results here, though. Coming home in first, Adrian Pazos wins the event with a move to the outside. Kobe Moore so close to pulling off the sweep. He won yesterday's event and comes home just 37 thousandths of a second short. That's about the time it takes for a person to blink. So to put that into perspective, Presley Sora just 0.062 seconds off the win right there, finishes in third. Antonio Grapiglia finishes in fourth. Andrew Bedrosian finishes fifth. Brandon Jackson in sixth. Aaron Roofs finishes seventh after a devastating late race penalty. Philippe Kursavic, after apparently having some technical difficulties there, finishes 8 laps down in eighth. Nick DeGroot, after being involved in a late wreck with Presley Sora, finishes ninth. And Jacob Ochmansky comes home in 10th.
All of these drivers are DNFs, but after that, it's our pole sitter, Silvio Roberto Sanchez, who was so quick in this race. Howard Wendell, Yori Brupaker, fast last night, fast again today. He'll finish 13th, 14th, and 15th. Go to Steven Sims and Adam Coles. Andrew Wisdom, Kevin Kittleman, and Michael Broomhead will round out the next three. Then you've got James Walters and Rod Faustinal rounding out your top 20.
In 21st on tonight's event was Victor Santos. Scott Rickard comes home 22nd. Steve Rada 23rd. Lotham Joyner 24th. William Kruska 25th. Tyler Scott brings it home 26th. And Juan Carlos Marciano comes home in 27th. Now that we've wrapped that up, let's talk first to our third place finisher here, Presley Sora. Presley, you had a fantastic run going there through the entire race. You need a little bit more at the end, but when you stayed out there with everybody else had already pitted and the two teammates behind you were working together, what was going through your mind when you knew you had to pit coming up soon with about 10 laps to go?
Yeah, well, I was originally hoping I didn't have to pit. I thought I'd save enough fuel, but once I got into the lead, I burned a lot more than I was expecting. So I ended up running, I think it was 7 or 8 laps short from the finish, so I didn't fill it all the way up, and I was hoping I'd get enough of a lead to where I didn't have to battle, but I ended up coming out like almost perfectly with the guys that had already pitted, so we ended up having a little battle there, and me and Nick made contact, but other than that, it was a clean race the whole time.
Well, a fantastic run through the field tonight. You led so many laps. What was the key to holding off all those charges that people had? Was it just the inside line being that strong?
Well, the inside was really fast, but my car, it was just fast everywhere. I could go to the top and make passes, or the bottom. So the bottom was better on entry to the turns, but it seemed like most of the guys in the field couldn't hold it on the top nearly as good as my team could. So I just tried to hold it on the bottom as long as possible, and normally it just pretty much evened out in the turn to where I just stayed in front.
Well, it looks like it worked out well for you. Nick, do you have any questions for Presley?
Yes, Presley, I mean, fantastic run. Like you said, you stayed out front all race long. I just want to, give you this opportunity to shout out everyone. It's been probably an exhausting 2-day event for you guys. Any shout outs or thank yous you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, my whole team on Indy Autosport, we had, I think, 4 cars in that race there. And Lawrence Shaughnessy, who made the paint scheme, which looked fantastic. And then everybody watching, there was a good amount of people who was watching the race, and they got to see a heck of a show. So just thanks all of them for watching.
They certainly did, and you're right. It's a beautiful paint scheme, and we did get to see it out front a lot today, and it will finish out on the podium. Congratulations on a great race, and thank you so much for stopping by after a long and tiring race.
Yep, thanks, guys.
That was third place finisher Presley Sora. Had a great run throughout the day. Covey Moore, though, you won yesterday. You finished second here today. That was a very great battle at the end there. I have to ask, what's going through your mind there as you're going down off turn 4? Did you think you had the win there? What was going through your mind?
Well, we got to see a little bit of what Indy Autosport's all about, so I certainly was contemplating pulling it up half a lane and making some fireworks for them guys on the outside. But at the end of the day, this thing's broadcast, and I don't want to make the stupid moves that we're seeing even professionals make. I want to run this thing clean, and so my thought was just hopefully they battle hard enough on my outside that I don't have to worry too much about it. So yeah, it was more just a question of, are we going to keep this thing clean, or does or is that outside lane going to prevail?
Looks like it was a great run here, though. Nick, do you have anything for Covey here?
Almost got the sweep done. with the Indy Lights race and the race tonight. I'm sure you liked the race last night, a little bit more. But were there any similarities you saw between the two, between just the style of racing between everyone on track?
Well, ironically, you guys asked me that question last night, and my response was there wasn't a lot of similarities. But it's funny at the end when it comes down to it, you without a massive run or some extra help in front of you, you can't really get the pass done on the outside. Single lane, so battling with Presley at the end there was kind of very similar to last night. Just hold that bottom on that restart. I was hoping to get a good jump on it, so that's kind of what was applied from last night's race. But I'm happy with that result at the end of the day. Considering on lap 11 I had to use that quick repair. I think everyone in the field ended up using a quick repair. I just hate it for the team. Seeing Presley drive through Nick like that was kind of some argy bargy, we'll call it, to not cuss on the air.
Well, certainly appreciate it, but I also want to ask. We saw tire wear. I was surprised. It did not go away at all. I mean, there was like no tire wear at all. A little bit cold out on track. Did that affect you guys? Is that maybe what bunched you guys up, you think?
Yeah, looking at it, we ended with a 91-degree track, which is like unseasonably cold for what we should expect towards the end of a race. Nick and I do a lot of our testing in higher temperatures as some of the other servers run a little bit higher. So I would say that it gave a lot of grip. I don't know what the track temp looked like midway through the race, but in the middle I was struggling. I was struggling really hard with this car. It was super tight, and it was just kind of balancing that roll bar and weight jacker a little bit to just make sure that we were kicking about. But at the end of the day, it was just about surviving to the end, and having a car at the end mattered most.
Absolutely. And you still did have that opportunity, just came up 300ths of a second short, but you can't ask for much more, like you said, out of an Indy 500. It was fantastic. It was exhausting, emotional, put in a lot of hard work, and at the end of the day, you're still going to wind up with a podium. So congrats on that, and thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for broadcasting, guys, and congratulations to Adrian. What a great run to the finish.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again on your run there, Covey Moore. But we are not going to be able to get in contact with our winner here tonight, unfortunately. So we're going to wrap up this show. To everyone that watched, first of all, thank you to you. It was great fun enjoying this race for over the course of 500 miles with everyone involved. However, this race was put on by the Sim Racers for Mental Health, but thank you as well to the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts that are listed here on your screen. Additional thanks to June Lalonde, who provides our wonderful music. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of her great work. Thank you to the team today, Sean Ambrose, Dougie Beard, Nicholas, and myself, Jeff McConey. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com, where you can check out our social media on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And if you'd like to support the channel, go check out our merchandise store at gsrc.storeenvy.com. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to head on over to our YouTube page and hit that big red subscribe button if you haven't already, so that you don't miss a moment here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. We also have upcoming races for other series listed on the screen, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. From everyone here at the Global Sim Racing Channel, good night, everybody.